Rolf good. Marcia bad. I can't fit Rolf good, Marcia bad, so I'll just put Rolf good. Pinned message. Alright. We got that KMU information. Ah! I would blame that noise on my cats, but I slipped and while trying to rearrange things on the desk. My desk has actually been kind of chaotic lately. I got a touchscreen monitor for playing DS games with touchscreen, and just finding a way to rearrange things to fit that has been a bit of a mess. But yeah, I've been pretty good. Chat, how's it going? How are you, Leonardo Lima 5822? What the? Did y'all hear that? I don't think you heard that, but my computer just randomly opened Final Fantasy III for the NES and started playing it very loudly, and it confused me. But we're here for revenge. We're here for revenge. We just wanna leave it like this, right? Yeah. Jill got fucked up by a Wrath crit. By a bullshit Wrath crit. What on earth is going on with this sensitivity? Hold on. I think there's something wrong with my Dolphin control. I mean, my Nintendo GameCube controls. Port 1. Oh, that's good. Is it my FPS? Oh, that's good. And it's just, it feels a little bit wonky. Like, I feel like my GameCube controller is drunk. You know? Better than Fate's counter, not showing lethal damage in combat forecasts. What? What's better than Fate's counter? Not showing lethal damage? I do agree that Fate's counter not showing lethal damage is like kinda horseshit. Is this an Iron Man run? This is not an Iron Man run. This is not an Iron Man run. I'll be honest. So I don't like Iron Mans. But I also, like, one of the, it's a tiny pet peeve, but I feel like there's this weird thing that happens with the Fire Emblem community, where if you're playing a Fire Emblem game, right, this has happened basically every stream of this year, because I've been streaming Thracia, and I had the Hag 0% growth streams, and I've been streaming Thracia and FE9 just sort of casual playthroughs. And it feels like any time you stream a Fire Emblem game, inevitably there's always at least one, usually more than one message per stream, like, hey, is this an Iron Man? And I don't understand, like, when did we decide that the Iron Man challenge run was the default way to play, you know? I also, I feel like, you know, people label their Ironmans, right? If this was an Ironman, wouldn't the stream say, you know, Path of Radiance, but I can't reset my game, or something crazy like that? You know, we gotta do the YouTube algorithm game, right? Path of Radiance, but if my units die, they're dead forever. Pokemon Nuzlocke moment. I feel like, I mean, maybe it's because I just don't play Pokemon that often, but I feel like when I'm streaming Pokemon, I do sometimes get those comments where people are like, is this a Nuzlocke? But I feel like it's less often. And maybe that's just because I don't stream Pokemon as often, but like I did Sea Glass the other day, right? Or not the other day, last year, December. And I didn't get any comments about like, is this an Iron Man or whatever? Path of Radiance, but if one unit dies, other 3 units also die. I mean, you can permanently kill units in this run, because this is a KMU. So, like, it's not an Iron Man. But you can choose, you can force me to kill a unit. Now, I'm not gonna bring a unit back just because you kill them, you know? If someone kills them, they're dead. People die when they are killed. Physic, Bulk? Where do you reach? You reach there, so you can go here. A 5 HP. Oh, no, 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 no. I'm allergic to permadeath. I can't resetto and reset to keep them alive. I think that Fire Emblem fans should probably, like, I don't know, I think even outside of Ironmans, people should play through deaths more often. Not in terms of like, oh, you know, my MVP died, well, I guess I'm gonna play through it. Like, that is the Iron Man mentality, right? But I do think that,
chipping into the
Oscar fund. Oh no! In Seattle, thank you for your generous donation. I appreciate it, even if Oscar almost certainly does not. Yeah, let's throw a strap on. Let's throw a strap on. Thank you for the stream. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, citizen! A question for y'all. Did you hear the audio with the alert box? Because I didn't hear the audio. So I'm wondering if it's a problem on my end, or if you can, can you hear also? $15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, y'all heard it, I didn't. That means there's some problem on my end. Cause OBS is just fucking wonderful. Oh shit, are we gonna get the soft lock? No! Okay, maybe the soft lock has been fixed. Because that happened last time, too. Like, we didn't get the soft lock, you know? So maybe it's been fixed. So Oscar's at 17 out of 50 now. Teamwork makes the dream work. We can kill him. Smiley face. I forget, does this range round down or up? There's no way for us to tell. He's got 15, so if it rounds up, then those squares to bait the Armor Knight are not actually safe. So I guess we'll have to find out. Rare Khalil sighting? Are you implying that Khalil is bad? Khalil is, pretty easily the best mage and one of the better pre-promotes in this game. There we go, now Vantage is gonna be useful. I mean, I guess I'm a little bit baffled that Khalil is the character you've commented on when this team has fucking Mia, Boyd, who, like, is okay, but, like, Rolf, bottom one? She's also quite skilled with the knives. People just dunk on her because of not stabs. Yeah, but, like, that's good design. I'll be just so for real. Like, I think that Khalil not getting knives is genuinely good design. Because it means you have to use your, like, you have to train up other mages if you want a combo staffer combat unit, right? Mia is the girl. Mia is certainly one of the units of all time. Rolf can stay. Oh, are y'all debating who we're executing next? People just dunk on her because of no stabs. Yeah, it's like, but so here's the thing, right? Because the argument for, like, a staffer mage, why you would want to train up Soren instead of using, you know, someone who's just already good, like Khalil, is, well, first off, there's the favoritism of, like, well, I like him as a character, and that's completely valid. But the gameplay argument that people would make is that, it's role compression, right? The idea is you have both your Siege Tomer and a Staffer in the same slot. Some people also argue Combat God, but that is, kind of a joke. Like, I'll just be perfectly blunt, people who refer to any of the Tellius mages as combat gods, I kind of stopped taking their opinions on the meta seriously at that point. But especially saying one of the trained ones. I went over this in the unit review, but Khalil statistically is just better than the trained up mages at her same level. Aside from Soren has 1 extra point of magic, and he technically has 2 points of speed, but realistically he doesn't, because his strength is lower by a significant margin. His average strength is like 6 points lower, something like that. He has 3 base strength, or 3 strength on average. He has 6 points lower. So aside from when you're using, like, specifically Wind and Elwind, he is just going to be slower. How quickly you forget about Boots Tour God. Look, he died. He's on the death counter. If we had a death counter, he would be on it. He ripped in Pip. He rests in pepperoni. YouTuber rating Soren as 4 out of 5 because mages are good. I mean, that doesn't sound like a YouTuber opinion to me. That sounds like someone getting angry in the comment section of YouTube opinion to me. Hold on, my OBS layout is all fucked up. There we go, now I have chat. Now I can see Twitch chat. Although my Twitch chat is dead. Nobody ever fucking talks in my Twitch chat. Like I said, I've considered just stopping, you know. Name and shame. No, 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 no. Please do not do that. We're not doing drama. If you name and shame a YouTuber for having a different opinion on Fire Emblem games than me, I will just ban you from the chat, because that's not cool behavior. Like, genuinely, don't fucking do it. One thing that I think we all could do to remember, is Fire Emblem is just a fucking video game, right? Like, Snowvan, I see you! Twitch chat rights. Twitch chat rights are human rights. As always, if this game was a GBA game, people would literally say, how would you fix mages? Like how they say how to fix armor knights. I do think armor knights, so the archers is one that I'm like, people always say, how would you fix bows? But that's just sort of, FE 7, 8, 9 are the big, like, influences in that. Armors, I disagree with the idea that people only think armors are bad specifically because of Game Boy. Because in general, armors are fairly weak as a class, you know? Obviously, there are exceptions that prove the rule, but look at something like Fates, you know? One of the stronger armors in the series is Effie, and she wants to leave the class as soon as possible. She doesn't want to remain in armor. You go here. So we'll have Volk go here. You know, you look at the other traditionally strong armors. I mean, also the other thing, right? If we're saying that the GBA's trilogy is what's making people think armors are bad, Oswin is in contention for the best armor knight in the franchise. And he's from a Game Boy Advance game. 16 magic, so that's 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. I still remember the days of 2016 seeing Effie as a general everywhere. I mean, I think if you're doing a no reclass or whatever, I don't think Effie as a general is, like, terrible. It's just that she's at her peak when she abandons the class, right? She's not... If, for whatever reason, you don't have the capability to reclass her, I wouldn't recommend benching her, at least not immediately, right? Like, there's people I would bench sooner than I would bench a Great Knight or General Effie, because she still has that big strength. She still has, you... Yeah, no, we can't really... That's not good. She still has that big strength. She still has, honestly, a very good defensive profile, too. Like, as an armor knight in the early game, I think Effie still performs very well. Just, like, throw a javelin on her, let her chip people down. Obviously, mind specific enemies that she's got a poor matchup against, like the Shining Bow guy in Chapter 9. But, like, Effie is always very helpful for me in taking care of, like, various lunge ninja rooms in, like, Chapter 11, for example. Just because she can reliably survive even with lowered stats from shurikens, and even with Poison Strike eating away at, HP, right? Kinchinite Effie is so fun. Yeah, I think, like, the reason that she is... Like, the thing that pushes her over the edge is not just Kinchinite, right? Not just the Archer build, but Arthur, fast romance with Arthur gives her access to the Berserker class line, which also leans into her strengths. I'm personally not a fan of that one, because I don't like Berserker. Because Berserker has a minus Critivoid modifier, and I just find that obnoxious to have to work with. You do have to, like, you know... keep to things like bronze weapons, maybe make use of, like, adjacencies, supports, and stuff. So, like, I personally don't like that. God, Rolf, you suck so much ass. I'm gonna cook with Hero Effie. Hero Effie could be good. I think Hero's, like, an underrated class. Obviously, if you're doing a build that requires you getting soul, like, you go into Hero for that. But I think as a, and honestly, I think as a, just a combat class, Hero's very nice, very skillful class. And I don't mean, like, you need to be a high-skill gamer for it. I mean, like, it has a good skill stat. It is an incredibly accurate class for that reason. And so I really like that element of it. What about Berserker Percy? Is the speed enough? I haven't fucked around with reclassing Percy too much. I either use him as a Draco, a Wyvern Rider, right? Wyvern Lord. Or I put him in the full support role. Because with certain pairings, he can get rally stuff, right? Like, if you give him Sky Knight access, then he has strength, speed, defense. And that can be a pretty cool and fun, way to do it. But yeah, I think, I'm pretty sure you can't dance over... Yeah, you can't dance over rivers. So what we're gonna do is go up here. Call the reinforcements. Effie was able to eat a hammer strike in the Yago room. Stand and wall for days alongside Xander. Was this as a general? Or was this as a hero? Soul Ninja Effie is underrated. Is it? Is it? I've never tried making her a ninja. Well, no, she can't. She can't be a soul ninja. Unless you mean as a maid. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, that's useful. His attack range is just also his staffing range. But unless you mean as a maid, she can't be a soul ninja. She doesn't have it in her. Mary Kaze, yeah, but then she can't get soul. She literally does not, because she gets access to hero through Arthur marriage. You can only marry one person in Fates. You know, they didn't invent Mormonism yet. Soul Ninja is impossible without buying a skill. At female Corrin, marry Kaze. You can't, so, Corrin's friendship is one way. Effie cannot get hero from female Corrin. You can only gain Corrin's class by marrying Corrin. Corrin gains other people's classes by achieving an A support with them, and they are able to friendship as many people as they want. They are not limited to only one friendship, because they don't get A+ support. But it does not go two ways. So a female Corrin with fighter or mercenary talent would not give those classes to Effie. So that once again just doesn't work. Corrin is a terrible friend. Well, no, they give supportive. I think supportive is better than an extra class, personally. Like, supportive is fucking incredible, and you only need a C support too, which is a much better friendship than getting a class at A+. Corrin knows the power of friendship. Cavalier Effie is pretty good. I think Cavalier is weird because it is, I would argue, in Conquest, at least, a pretty bad class. Or at least mediocre one. In Birthright, it's okay, and in Rev, it's okay. It's definitely at its weakest in Conquest, but I also think it's pretty routinely a little bit underrated. Like, it has skills that you like, and it's got, like, whatever-ish rounded stats, right? Like, it's never... How do I put this? It's never, like, the ideal class for anyone. That's unfortunate. Okay, 15. I gotta be careful. This guy is fucking Wrath. It's never the ideal class for anyone, but it's also, like... You can make stuff happen with it, right? I also think being in it early is really nice, because you can get the skills and get out. Specifically Elbow Room, and Shelter. I think that, Defender is a little bit overrated. But if you've got nothing better for your 5th skill slot, there's also no reason... It's not like it has a downside, right? By the way, doesn't display the Wrath crit. Evil. Evil. There we go. Most of the classes and fates have a floor for how bad they can be. Alright, if you go in there, you go here. There we go, Rolf. We're gaming now. Rolf Good. Everyone, let's sound off in the chat for Rolf Good. Can I get a Rolf Good, gamers? I could say Merchant Gunter's peak. Technically, he can do things he otherwise can't do. Is that Corrin Marriage? Yeah, that would have to be Corrin Marriage. I don't know what they smoked to make Gunter. Oh no, is it Gunter hate in 2025? Or, sorry, we're in 2026 now. Gunter hate in 2026? This is so sad. Gunter is, like, genuinely a pretty okay unit. I mean, Conquest, right? Like, competing against a pretty stacked cast. He doesn't come out great in that regard. But genuinely, like, he makes for a phenomenal backpack. For Corrin, specifically. And he shows up with good pre-promote stats. If I were doing an Iron Man that was, I mean, obviously, team composition dependent, but in a vacuum, if I was doing an Iron Man that was, like, up Shit's Creek, right, and I needed to field a pre-promote, you get Gunter and Shura, around the same time, like one chapter apart from each other, right? I'd take Gunter. I'd take Gunter first. Gunter gives 7 strength as personal skill and 5 defense, and he learns Spendthrift if he's a merchant. Hell yeah, old man gaming. Even in Rev, right, where Gunter is, I would argue, well, I mean, he's probably better in Rev than Conquest because you field him, right? In every Rev playthrough, you field Gunter for at least 3 or 4 maps. Because what, are you fucking fielding, like, all of the Scrub Squad? I don't think so. You don't have room for Mozu, Tsubaki, Hana all together, right? So, like, unlike in Conquest, where a lot of teams are just like, our team's done, we don't need a new guy, when he shows up, you want Gunter for a little bit in Rev, even though long-term he's a lot less usable because his growths are atrocious. But, like, even then, you know, he's got the bulk to survive a hit, which is something that he shares with, like, Tsubaki and whatnot. He makes a fucking phenomenal Korin backpack. Like, that's the thing, is his personal skill is so goated. I made it to chapter 14 in Conquest. I have no clue what to do with Perry. Is it cheating if I say bench her? Is it cheating if I say bench her? Remember skill base 9? Is that for Gunter or Perry? Gunter's accuracy is bad in Rev, I remember that much. I don't remember the exactly how bad it is, but like his accuracy's not great. But I also kind of don't care, because on the one hand, it's also, you know, like I said, I have him in Korin's backpack a lot of the time. But also, like, he can be a flying shelter bot pretty freely. That's the thing, is, like, without reclasses, which I guess if you want to make him a flying shelter bot, you are giving him a reclass, but, like, you can reclass Jacob to get shelter, but I think that's probably not a great use of Jacob. If you're going with, female Korin, then Jacob is pretty good as, like, just a combat unit, right? Just as, like, a dagger user. Like, an actual bulky dagger user. And the other thing is that, like, you know, I think 50% of people are not going to have Jacob because Felicia, if you choose to go the Felicia route, you don't have, like, she doesn't have access to Cavalier. So are you spending Korin talent on Cavalier? Or are you waiting until Silas joins, who's your next shelter user, right? Like, Gunter just offering shelter is just really nice. What's your ideal Jacob? Rev or Conquest? I mean, I also don't know if there's, like, an ideal Jacob. He's such a flexible unit. Like, in Rev, if you're gonna use him long-term, there's, like, 8,000 builds you can go with him. He has Takumi Friendship, so he can get into, Archer and Kinshi and get, like, Bow Fair early, which is pretty awesome. He has Kagura Marriage, so you can take advantage of, like, his dagger rank, turn him into a replicate unit. If you do Kagura Takumi, you can do a replicate unit with Amaterasu nonsense, right? Like, Amaterasu, whatchamacallit, the +2/-2 skill that strategist gets. What's it called? Inspiration. You named the sword Needle, you Game of Thrones nerd. Oh, is that what it's named after? It's been so long since I read those books / watched the show. That was not my... I didn't make that. That was for, so that was... Someone paid for a knife for Volk named Needle. And, you know, I told them, you know, we can't forge knives. So they said, make a sword for Mia. Name it Needle. Okay, if you go here... Go here... Go here... Perfect. Now we can do this. But yeah, I mean, like, so that's a nice thing you can do with Jacob. Personally, my favorite thing to do with Jacob is just to use him short-term. Although I don't want to give the impression that he's not good with investment. With heavy investment, he can be, like, just from early access to so many skills, right? He can be pretty phenomenal. But I just like leaving him in Butler. He gets dagger access, he's relatively bulky compared to the other early rev units. And... you know, with his 1-2 range, his ability to staff and self-sustain. It's just nice. Has anyone watched the new Game of Thrones show? The one based on Dunk and Egg? My friend says that it's really good, but I don't trust him because he also said the Targaryen prequel was really good, House of the Dragon, and apparently that's shit. Apparently the second season of that just like... And I was like, that's why I was like, I don't want to, you know, I don't trust it. Like, that's why I didn't get into it. I still haven't watched it, so I'm just parroting, like, what I've heard. Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. Yeah, that's the one, that's the one, that's the one. It's based on the book, Dunk and Egg, which I haven't read either. I haven't read any of the supplemental books. I've only read the 5 main series ones that are out. Although I've finally gotten back into reading it. It had been a while, like a couple of years, I just sort of hadn't made time for it. And I started reading it again. I read a couple of Discworld books. The first 2 Rincewind ones and the first Death one. And then I read Project Hail Mary, which is the new, by the same author as the Martian, Andy Weir, I believe. Project Hail Mary is really fucking good, by the way. I can't wait to see how badly they butcher that as a movie, because it has elements that I can see a way in which they would transfer to a movie, but I don't think they're going to successfully do it. Also, the movie trailers spoil a huge plot point in the book, which is a little annoying, but to be fair, the back cover of the book also spoils that, so, like, it's not like it's just Hollywood execs. Long-term, Jacob struggles with strength, speed, and defense. I always end up mentioning him. I mean, I think pretty easily those can be made up for by just having good skills. I also don't think his speed, strength, and defense are, like, bad long-term. Like, looking at his averages, especially since, remember, he gets promoted growth the whole time, they are pretty okay. I'm not gonna say they're, like, you know, above average or whatever, although depending on what class you put him in, right? But he's also just a unit that can pretty easily snowball because he starts out ahead of people. Good night. But yeah, he starts out ahead of people, so, like, because... It's one of those things, like, a principle of Fire Emblem is a unit who starts out better at combat is going to be able to snowball more easily because they... Oh, you don't have full guard, do you? Oh, you do. Jill only took 5 damage from this sniper, despite not having full guard. That's effective damage for you, bitches. But yeah, pretty, you know, reliable principle of Fire Emblem is if somebody starts out strong, they snowball much more easily than people who start out weak because they can secure kills more reliably. You know, without needing as much babying and favoritism and whatnot. Artists really like the dynamic between the main characters. Of Dunk and Egg? Yeah. I'm not surprised by that. Yo! 17 magic. Raisin's gonna be so good at using the cards. How goes the emblem of Flames' radiant path? We're currently debating whether or not Oscar gets to live. Is where we're at right now. $17 says Oscar gets to die. He's allowed to die. Evie has friendship with Hana and Rev. Maybe I can use some samurai elements for her. I've sent her in Master of Arms before, because I think Life and Death helps her, quite a bit. The problem is Effie just starts out pretty severely underleveled. Getting her that initial, you know, it's the opposite problem of Jacob. Getting her over that initial hump is difficult, and the payoff is, like, just another high-strength character. Like, I would genuinely say, if I'm trying to train up a high-strength character, I'd go with Hana over Effie. Because Hana doesn't need a reclass. Like, she wants to leave Samurai, but Effie needs to leave Knight, right? And also, Hana naturally has Shrine Maiden, which gives her access to Priestess, which is actually a decent class for a high-strength, high-speed, frail unit. Meanwhile, Maid is, like, not really. You know, it gets dagger access, so they can attack uncountered, but it just feels counterproductive to what Effie wants to be doing. So, like, I'd rather train up Hana. She starts earlier. She's also a unit who starts out pretty bad, right? Like, the 0 damage to enemies moment. But you can fucking work around that shit. Like, it's doable, even if it's not necessarily what you want to do. But yeah, I've done the Hana-Effie friendship stuff before. Effie gets fucking nothing from it, by the way. My birthright Hana was nice. Interesting. I think Hana's one of the weaker birthright characters just because her stat spread is not well suited for that game. As a frail, strong, fast attacker in a game where bulk is important, but speed thresholds are incredibly low, and speed is the most fixable stat. And also damage thresholds are incredibly low. It's just, everything feels like it's stacked against her, right? It's all the opposite of what you would want. I still just beat it with Ryoma and Kamui. Oh, yeah, the Japanese name for Corrin. Right. Weeb detected. Or Japanese person detected. I don't know. You might be, I don't know where you live in the world. It's, what, 10 p.m. EST, so this would be, like, middle of the day for Japan? Yeah, so it's reasonable that you would be awake if you were Japanese. I'm black, but I live in Korea. Is Corrin named Kamui in Korea as well? I sort of assumed that the international version changed it to Corrin for all languages, but I don't know if that's actually the case. 2254 in Brazil. Nice, nice, nice. We're getting the clock check-ins now. I named her Kamui because I think it sounds better than Corrin. That's fair and valid. Tanya. My partner named hers Corinne. Oh, that's cute. Oh, right, I forgot there's a fucking Swordmaster in there. A little bit scary. No! Taronio, why are you attacking Ike? You're supposed to talk to him! Ha ha ha. I will cut you down with ease and leave your corpse for the rats. What the fuck? Taronio betrayal. The bullfighter has betrayed us. There we go. This makes it easy. Hiya! Take this! What is it? Why are you staring at me like that? I am Taronio, a General Dane. Young General of Crimea, I have but one question to ask you. Your swordsmanship is familiar. Who taught you to fight in this way? To the best of my knowledge, that style was used by only one man, an old friend of mine. My father. He taught me how to use the sword. Is that so? Gawain's son. Wait, you're a friend of my father's? We were good friends, long ago. How is the old goat? My father no longer lives. He was defeated and slain by a Dane general. That can't be! For the Gawain I knew to be beaten. Who was it? Who took him down? Knight encased in black armor. The Black Knight, eh? I did not know his strength had grown so much. Interesting. Do you have any brothers or sisters? I have one sister. In that case, I will not fight you. The world must not lose Gawain's style of swordsmanship. Surrender. You may lock me away or execute me, or what you will. I cannot. Are you sane? Very much so. I had already decided that I would die in this place. I have served this country for many years. I'm the previous king. Current regent is the fair and wants nothing but war. I can fight no longer. If you plan on dying anyway, join us. We have need of strength such as yours. You would take a full mundane general? I cannot. Your fellow Crimeans would resist, and would never accept it. Our army does not have the luxury of being so picky. Please, lend us your strength. As you will. I've already thrown my life away. I can serve you somehow. I use it as you see fit. So this is Tironio. He is very much defined by his class. Because these stats are all right. 13 speed is suspect. And I believe his growths are like, he's a shower, not a grower, right? He's not gonna really get better in that regard. But 22 strength, 22 defense are incredibly solid. You don't need that amount of bulk in order to survive in Path of Radiance. The enemies are pretty weak, but it's still appreciated. I still like it. And of course he has Resolve, arguably the best skill in the game. It multiplies your speed, skill, and strength by 1.5 when you're at half HP or less. And considering just how bulky he is, again, that 22 defense, even at just 24 HP, he's gonna survive for a while. So, like, in theory, he should be a pretty good unit. And, like, I've made use of him in quite a few runs. Very useful for just, like, soaking up a ton of damage, replying with, you know, a spear or a javelin or whatever, dealing a decent chunk of damage, but he's never gonna double. He usually gets doubled, but oftentimes it's 0 times 2. The problem is he's a general. 6 move, low speed, it just ain't it. His res is decent. 14 res for a general is pretty decent. So, like, he doesn't get shredded by mages, but fighting too many of them does fuck him up. Although they can be useful for putting him into resolve range. Overall, though, it's just 6 move in a game dominated by Cavaliers is not where you want to be. Like, unfortunately, we are back on the... If we're doing Path of Radiance unit reviews, they kind of just are state the class, good or bad class, right? We had a few interesting units with, like, you know, Makalov, Tormod, Stefan, stuff like that. But we're kind of back to the boring stuff. And unfortunately, generals just aren't very good in this game. Also, generals are swords and lances, which is an interesting combination, but is unfortunate because axes are the best weapon in the game. So it's just not, where you want to be. But hey, you know, Resolve is very good, and if you want to use Tironio, there are certainly worse meme units to use. The fact that he just starts with good bases means, unlike someone like, you know, Mia or Tormod or whoever, who you have to invest in, Tironio requires 0 investment to be good. He just sort of shreds through those. Well, not shreds through them. He chunks them down, but he shrugs them off, I guess would be the thing. But he's also stuck at 6 move. He's also stuck at very bad speed, and, you know, even his strength, 22, it's not bad by any means, but it's not enough to kill because he's not doubling. He will never double. 30% speed growth, by the way. Why are axes good in this game? They have the highest might. They have the highest might, and accuracy is not an issue because enemy avoid is so low that, for the most part, with the exception of, like, enemy sword masters, you've got perfect accuracy even with axes. So the only difference is the highest might. And axes have access to 1-2 range with hand axes. That's why they're the best. But yeah. Tironio's alright, but he ends up near the bottom of, in my opinion, he's, you know, a low tier unit just because his class sucks, which is unfortunate. A lot of spear users in the distribution, too? What do you mean? I mean, lances are the second best weapon type, I would say. And I don't think that, like... I don't think the gap between lances and axes is particularly big. You know, that's why I still think Oscar is, like... I mean, obviously you can give Oscar axes as well. But I don't think Oscar is, like, bad. Good unit, mid-class, mid-stats. I don't think he's a good unit. I think he's a bad unit, actually. I think he has 2 stats that are good. His defense and his strength. But the rest of them are bad. I would say. Proportionally, there's a lot of lances in terms of enemy quality. Is that true? I don't think that's true. I think that's a thing people say because it's true in the Game Boy Advance games, but I don't think, and like Thracia, it's true in Thracia. But I don't think that's true in Path of Radiance. Like, look at this. We got sword user, lance user, tome user, sword user, sword user. You know, we just fought a couple of lance users. There was a ton of axe users over here. The weapon triangle isn't really a big deal in Path of Radiance. And also, it's not a big deal in most Fire Emblem games, but if you say that, you get death threats. Or at least I do. But the weapon triangle really doesn't matter here, right? Every weapon looks the same from a distance. Yeah, when you're zoomed out, it's hard to tell what weapons people have. That is true, that is true. Death threats over triangle is crazy. Death threats over video games is crazy. Like, I don't care what the take is. Fucking, you know, calm down, touch grass, right? There's a fucking, it's funny, because I was listening to a, podcast about the Vince Gilliverse, the, Better Call Saul Breaking Bad extended universe, and one of the things they brought up, and this is, you know, obviously this is, been repeated ad nauseum in other locations as well, but the idea of, like, just how much of the internet treats fictional characters like they are more real than real people. And they were talking about, because they also do, like, some video game podcasts, and how people will attack them as people in order to defend the honor of a video game, and they were comparing that to, if you've seen Better Call Saul, Chuck, who's Jimmy's brother, who's sort of the antagonist of the first 3 seasons, and his sort of valuing the concept of the law more than actual people, like real people. And how, like, that's sort of his biggest, like, the big issue is that he treats this, you know, a person might be there on your deathbed, but the concept of the law won't, and yet he continuously punishes his brother, Jimmy, in order to, you know, protect this institution that he loves, the legal system. Laura Bailey being attacked by a bunch of random people after The Last of Us 2 came out because she voiced Abby is wild to me. I mean, I also think it's like, just so gamer-pilled that people got mad Spoilers for The Last of Us 2. If you care. Which, you know, I think it's an alright game. You know, it's made by a Zionist, but I think it's an alright game, alright story, so you might care about spoilers. But Joel, the main character of The Last of Us 1, Joel, dies at the beginning of The Last of Us 2. It's the inciting incident, because it's like a revenge story, right? And trying to get revenge against his killer, Abby. And it's wild to me how many people hated the game because he died. Because a fictional character died in a way that, like, made sense in terms of him as a character as well. Like, his story was finished. Bro thinks he's smooth with that physic. It's the legacy of Gamergate. Epstein, baby! The architect of Gamergate. Jeffrey Epstein and Steve Bannon. So you got, you know, the mayor of Pedophile Island and, a avowed white nationalist. This is where the gamers throw in. It's fucking embarrassing. I mean, gamers are just so fucking embarrassing about so many other things, too. The best item in the game is in Jill's inventory. Coin? Is this coin memes? Coin gaming. I mean, the real answer is hand axe, I agree, but coin memes are funny. Selena's passive in FE Fates is kind of bad. I just realized how redundant it is. Yeah, it's, I'm assuming by passive you mean her personal skill. It's definitely a fucking nothing burger. You crit, the enemy is dead or really close to dead, at which point why do you need the second crit? Exactly. I mean, not breaking any new grounds by saying that, but like, yeah, that is the problem of it. Ashnard, show yourself! Huh? A Goldoan dragon? I've been waiting for you. You're General Ike, are you not? Who are you? My name is Enna. By orders of the king, I'm the protector of this capital. Withdraw. I've no desire to fight a useless battle with you. It's Ashnard I'm after. I regret to inform you the king is not here. What? The king and his main body of the Dane army remain in Crimea, where they have been since it fell. What are you saying? The king's abandoned the capital? I share your desire to see this conflict end. So rather than see you travel to Crimea and fight Ashnard, I felt it would be much faster to defeat you here, you and your army here, don't you agree? It's one way to look at it. The problem is I'll never let you do as you please with Crimea. We cannot have it both ways. We both want what is in our interest, and that is why we have conflict. If neither one of us will yield, the conflict will continue until only the stronger of us remains. I have my own reasons for fighting, and I will see you fall. Hiya! But yeah, her personal's bad. I will say this, right? Some people cite her bad personal as, like, proof that Selena herself is bad. And I do think Selena's, like, questionable, as a unit. I mean, it depends on the route, obviously, as well. But her personal is not Like, I think people get hung up on the personals in Fates and Three Houses and Engage. And in part, it's because, you know, it's the one part of a character that is truly unique in a world where you can, like, you know, reclass to a much freer degree. But it's also, you know, a character with a bad personal isn't necessarily going to be bad. Most personal skills are nothing burgers. I disagree with that. I mean, again, it depends on the game, but if we're talking about Fates, I disagree with that. A lot of characters have incredibly impactful personal skills. Just look at Camilla, for instance, right? Like, that's a huge, huge personal skill. Elise? I mean, part of why Wyvern Elise is so good is getting to use Lily's poise while still being in attack stance with someone who can actually attack. Obviously, that's not the only, like, nice thing about Wyvern Elise, but it is, like, a very big benefit in the beginning of the game, right? You know, Felicia, Jacob, and Gunter, we were just talking about Gunter's personal skill, like why it makes him such a good backpack. Effie's personal skill is what lets her hit a bunch of one-shotting thresholds in the early game of Conquest. No, don't fucking no! Oh, I'm gonna just steal his physics style.
Here we go.
Rip.
Shadowstar donated $5.
$5 towards killing Braum. Shadowstar, you are a monster! You're a monster. Thank you for the $5 donation towards killing Braum, even though it makes you a monster. No, that was a forced deploy. Oh, you're a good person. You're a good person. Okay. Okay. Although, I will say, you're probably going to be disappointed with your forced deploy, because next chapter is the one turn with the Siege Tomes. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But hey, you know, chapter 17, I would offer to freely transfer it to the bridge, but I gave chapter 17 as a free one, right? So, like, the way I look at it is, you know, some chapters are just better than others. I'm a fake Fire Emblem fan. But yeah, on the personal skill topic, right? Like, there's obviously characters like Dwyer, right, who just don't have personal skills at all. But then you've got characters like Laszlo who have, like, Laszlo's personal skill is what opens up specific builds to him. It's just that characters without good personal skills, like, that is not a death knell, I guess is what I'm trying to get across in terms of that. Where sometimes a character doesn't have a good personal skill, but that's okay. Who's a good example of a character with a bad personal skill? Fuga's personal skill is kind of a nothing burger. It gives extra avoid. It's honestly more annoying when he's a boss than anything, but he's a fucking bonkers-ass unit, right? And then on the other end of the spectrum, Benny is only good because of his personal skill. That's not true. His defensive profile is also quite good. Holy shit, I forgot how fucking scary Anna is as a boss. He gives you Ignatius, who's awesome. Oh, the suicidal yellow units. Oh no. If you had wished to extend your short lifespan, then you should not have appeared before me. Yo! Actually dealing damage! I mean, doesn't matter, the throne's gonna heal it off, but still. Ballistician Arthur for his personal skill. Yeah, because Arthur's personal skill, like, for avoiding it, because his personal skill is the one where I would say, oh, that is actually, like, his personal skill is actively negative. Fuga's personal giving hit is nice. Oh, right, it gives hit, too. I forgot. Yeah, that is actually good. That is actually good, I'll say that. I will agree with you there. I forgot it gives hit. And, like, even though, yeah, it's Fuga, he's got, like, cracked stats anyway, so it's not a huge deal. I do think that is, like, still helpful. Effective damage, everyone. Because it means he can use less accurate weapons. Which is nice. I did Sniper Arthur in Conquest once, and it was funny as a crit build. Does Sniper give crit? Like, genuine question? Because I know all the single weapon classes give some bonus, but I just don't remember what the bonus is for all of them. 10 crit. And hit. Gotcha. I was looking at the wiki recently. I always have to check the wiki whenever that's, like, relevant. Which it rarely is. Like, even in reviews, it just doesn't come up that often. But I have to check when it is. Would you say Sizo's is good or harmful? It's good. It's good. I'll be honest, the people who say it's harmful, that's a skill issue. Because Sizo's is player phase only. So you can choose not to activate it when it would hurt you. It is technically limiting because it'll, like, if you're choosing to not have it activate to harm you, then you are, you know, you're limiting yourself to not, like, there's certain attacks you won't be able to do if it would have activated in such a way that harms you that you don't want, right? But I still think that's better. It's especially good in Rev, where enemies are bulky enough that that chip damage is going to be relevant. But even in Birthright, like, just making use of it, it's really good for training characters. If you have an under-leveled unit you want to train up, Sizo's personal lets you chip people down to a kind of ridiculous degree. I did the review on him recently for Christmas. I guess that was 3 months ago. 2 months ago. But yeah, my Christmas special was the Sizo review, because he's one of the Christmas ninjas, right? And one of the things I talked about was making use of his personal skill to resolve. Yo! End it down! Now we just gotta get the treasure rooms. But using his personal for builds to take advantage of it. You're not allowed to get all the post-combat shit skills on one unit. Yeah, because of the Wolfsinger one, but that's okay. Malignite plus Poison Strike plus Pyrotechnics I think is good enough. Anna joining is cooler than Nasir. I think Anna is more narratively satisfying than Nasir. I mean, we'll talk about it when I get to the Death Knight duel, or the Black Knight duel. But I honestly think that, Anna, like, so choosing to flee from the Dark Knight is more narratively satisfying than defeating him. And I think that, I've said this before, but I think that you should have been forced to flee from the Dark Knight. Because the story insists that, you know, Ike, you know, you need to live. Ike, live, right? That's what Grail tells Ike on his deathbed, is like, live, right? Titania constantly warning Ike, like, hey, you need to know when a battle's not worth fighting, when to flee. And when the Black Knight first shows up, the first couple of times, it's very much a, like, Ike, you need to focus on what's important. And Mist shows up and she's like, Ike, please don't die, don't leave me alone. But then you go and fight him anyway, and he's still alive in Radiant Dawn? It's just so unsatisfying. I think for Path of Radiance's story, it would be better if the lesson is, like, Ike's lesson is devoting himself single-mindedly to this idea of vengeance at the cost of everything else isn't worth it. And he decides, you know, I'm not gonna do it. It's worth living. And he leaves, and then the Black Knight dies in the collapse, which obviously we know he didn't actually die in the tower collapse. But that also makes it much easier for him to be alive in Radiant Dawn without needing to do the warp powder bullshit, right? And then he doesn't have to be like, oh, you know, the reason that you defeated me was actually my armor was possessed by warp powder. I think that just makes much more sense, both for Path of Radiance as a story on its own, and for the two of them as a duology. And then, like you say, Anna choosing to fight against Dane is more impactful than Nasir, right? You are strong. I have lost. Then calm yourself and surrender. There's no reason for you to die. That I cannot do. What? I must go to him. No, wait! Nasir, good timing. Grab her, will you? I'm sorry. Nasir? Ugh! Ike! Nasir, what are you doing? Go now, hurry. So you were the traitor. Someone's been giving information to the enemy. Is that you? Miss Medallion? Are you telling me you've been working with Dane this whole time? But you're a Lagoose, why? Talk to me! This is useless. Get him out of here. This traitor's face is making me ill. Last. Until this has been cleared up, you'll be held in custody. I won't question you anymore. When you decide to talk, let me know. Go to Palmeni Temple. What did you say? So, the capital's fallen, eh? I knew it would come to this. Still, no disappointing. It doesn't matter how well you train an army. If they don't fight, they become weak. What's the life of a soldier without a steady diet of war? Blood and pain are the true foods of a warrior. So speaking of soldiers, your highness, the majority of our forces have been moved here. I left more than enough soldiers. And yet they could not prevail. You may have overestimated Anna. Even if she is a dragon. I suppose that was the best she could do. I suppose. But the important thing is the Black Knight. Where has he gotten to? See him in the capital? I did. He bid me present this to your majesty. Ah! It's found its way back to my hands at long last. Unwrap it. Quickly. Unwrap it and show it to me. But very well. Do be careful not to touch it, Katrine. It wouldn't do to have you go mad. I'd hate to have to kill. Here it is, your majesty. Behold. Ah, how wonderful. See how it reacts to the war I have brought to this pathetic land. This is Laren's medallion? Yes. And inside is a dark god of immeasurable power and cruelty. It once caused a flood so great that all the continents save Tellius was submerged in a watery tomb. Blue light. You, me, even this very castle itself. We all radiate various forms of chaotic energy. The dark god is pure chaos. The light you see is that energy calling out to the chaos around us. That is why some scholars refer to it as the Fire Emblem. Look how you tremble. This light has power to bewitch the human soul, you know. It calls to our chaotic impulses, like the urge to slaughter every living thing in sight. You feel its invitation? The permission to act on any base emotion that resides in your heart? No matter how unspeakable. My report is not finished. Guard? Yes, Your Highness? Wrap the medallion and place it once. Go on. The report? Yes, of course. It's Your Majesty ordered. The Black Knight moves to capture Princess Serenus. Last report, he was on his way to Phonexus. I see. He's decided on the princess, not the prince, eh? Did he give any reasons? Yes, Your Highness. It's based on the findings of a group of scholars. Because the princess was isolated for over 20 years, they feel her magic will be stronger than her brother's. Yet, can the Black Knight outwit the Hawk King of Phonexus and steal her away? The Hawk King is not always by her side. As you know, the Black Knight is in possession of war power. If someone of his might and has the ability to appear and disappear at will, it may be that he is without equal. With the exception of Your Majesty, of course, I mean. Test that some. It's not often that one finds a tool as useful as he is. Spoken, Your Majesty. Now then, Petrine, my dear Petrine. You have made one blunder after another. How will you prove your worth to me? If you wish to remain in my service, you must show me results. Unless you too wish to become food for Rajan. Your Majesty, I'll redouble my efforts. I won't let you down. You can be a general, or you can be a dinner. I don't really care which, but do try to show a little initiative, won't you? Yes, Your Highness, by your leave. Hold. Got one thing. What happened to Anna when the capital fell? According to front reports, she escaped. Her current location is unknown. However, this is Anna we're speaking of. She will return to Your Majesty, will she not? Kill her. What? I have no further use for her. Oh, but if it's too much to ask for you to kill her outright, use her trust and stab her in the back. As you wish. I'll be right back. I gotta install my air conditioner because it is hot as a fucking oven in here. I got a box, a window box air conditioner, but we have to take it down during the winter because it gets too cold otherwise. So I gotta reinstall it. It's like in the 60s. It's been in the 60s pretty regularly the past couple of days. So it's just really hot, you know? But the problem rearranged this room. Rearranged my office. Winner. Unfortunately, it's up in the way of the window. Okay. Sorry for the delay. I guess you get Danny installs an air conditioner ASMR. That's what this content is. Oh, fuck. Normally it's a two-person job. My wife is asleep and it is just too hot. Get it out. Okay. Now you get there. Okay. I just gotta plug it in. Oh, I think I throw my back. There we go. Do you get more lore for Nasir's motivations and the Black Knight's identity if you beat him? I had to flee, and so I was left with questions. Well, we know Nasir's motivations. Whether you defeat or flee from the Black Knight, you know Nasir's motivations, because Anna is his granddaughter. So he's protecting Anna. As far as the Black Knight's identity, that's only revealed in Radiant Dawn. But, it's, well, we're about to meet the Black Knight's secret identity. But it's revealed in Radiant Dawn. Is it revealed how he knows Grail? Yeah, I mean, it's revealed even before, like, long before. We already know it at the point in the story that we're at. He was one of the 4 riders. Like, I'm pretty sure even in the duel when he kills Grail, he says, like, that, yeah, that Grail's the one who trained him. He's one of the 4 riders. We get more information in Radiant Dawn about, like, his relationship with, Sephirin, and Sephirin's relationship with Grail, and the Medallion. But we know how they know each other. Like, he was his teacher. You know, it's a Darth Vader Obi-Wan situation. Doesn't the Black Knight say it up straight, say that Grail is his teacher early in the story? I'm pretty sure it's in the first cutscene he's in, when he kills Grail. Like, it's very clearly a he's very clearly a Darth Vader reference, right? Because he's in black armor, he kills Obi-Wan isn't Luke's father, but he fulfills the mentor role. And Grail is Ike's mentor, right? He kills him, you were the master, now I've surpassed you type deal. He's actually Char Azabal. Yeah. But yeah, he's, similar to, Golbez. No, I feel like a lot of villains sort of, Darth Vader's one of those iconic villains. A lot of villains sort of reference him in various ways. But yeah, I think Black Knight is pretty clearly a Darth Vader send-up. A mix of Darth Vader and the Green Knight, because the Green Knight is the other, like Gawain and the Green Knight, right? Overcoming many hardships, Ike and company finally arrive in the Dane capital of Nivasa. However, much to their dismay, King Ashnard is nowhere to be found. According to intelligence reports, the king is in Crimea's capital of Melior, preparing to wage war against Scotland. In addition, at least half of the Dane army, including its most elite forces, remain unharmed at his side. The Crimean army is again forced to march. This time, however, the battlefield will be their homeland. Eagerly awaiting the arrival is a Dane army more powerful than anything they have faced so far. This fact, coupled with Nasir's act of betrayal, has filled Ike with apprehension and disappointment. Yet, it is then, when all hope seems faint, that unexpected good news arrives. The shot of him dropping Ragnar in the challenge was hype as fuck. Yeah, I think that's definitely one of the most hype moments in Aura / positive. Like, I know that's used as an insult, and it is, sometimes appropriately an insult, but I think it's a compliment in this case, right? Like, they're not going for anything other than it being hype. Although, he can't use it. He cut his sword arm. So, like, there is a reason he doesn't use it, but it's still just, it's cool. General, like, reinforcements have arrived from Begnion. Reinforcements? I haven't heard anything about this. Have you, Princess Lincia? No, not a word. Are you sure they're Begnion troops? Yes, sir, they're Fly Begnion's insignia. There can be no doubt of their authenticity. And the man in command is one of Begnion's most beloved heroes, General Zelgius. There's no mistaking him, sir. Allow me to meet with him first. I beg your pardon. Are you General Ike? I am. And you are? I am Zelgius, the Earl of Kadur. I've been dispatched from Begnion, the battalion, to support your army. Your assistance is very much appreciated, but this is very unexpected. I understand your surprise. For Begnion's Imperial Senate, the decision was made with unusual haste. I imagine so. It took forever just to get the soldiers I have now. Well, there's a reason behind the expedited decision. Duke Parasus has returned home. You mean Sepharin? Correct. Duke Parasus is also a senior statesman of the Imperial Senate. The Duke returned from his travels and began working immediately to settle pressing affairs of the state. Firstly, he met with the Apostle, and they exchanged reports on both foreign and domestic matters. Then they discussed Begnion's position in relation to the current conflict and the possible courses of action. In less than half a day, they brought the entire Imperial Senate into line and sent us here to you. So you're saying that Begnion has allied itself with Crimea, is that it? That's it exactly. I'm at your service, General Ike. Wow, thank you. Now then, please tell me what you would have my men do. I'm ordered to help in any possible way. You caught me off guard. I can't think of anything right now. In that case, do I have permission to make camp around the palace and rest my troops? Yes, please do. That's no problem. You. Please do not hesitate to call if you have need of us. We're at your disposal. Begnion reinforcements. That was unexpected, wasn't it? It certainly was. The Apostle and Sepharin did the impossible by getting to us. All for our little army. It's hard to believe they would go to all this trouble. First we take Dane's capital, and now this. Things are looking up. You're right. Even if we don't receive help from Gallia, we may still be able to defeat Ashnard. That's true. It's like a dream. I have to disagree. Oh, look. Soren is upset again. Who knew? When is it this time? The Crimean army is not the crux of Dane's defeat. This war means nothing. What does that have to do with the arrival of these reinforcements? The battalion we just saw that just arrived is in greater numbers than the one we originally received. Not only that, but all these soldiers are marching under Begnion's name. So, if these reinforcements are responsible for defeating King Dane, what do you think will happen? That achievement, the very victory itself, belonged to Begnion Empire, not Crimea. If that happens, Crimea will be rebuilt however Begnion sees fit, and Princess Valencia will be a mere figurehead. Then, the deeds of an unknown mercenary company will be expertly covered up. We'll receive some paltry sum of money and be swept under the rug somewhere. Mark my words. Soren, you're being so rude. Surely the apostle of all people would not do such a thing. And this General Zelgius seems sincere enough to me. Oh boy, Ike, he killed your dad. Come, Soren. I've heard of situations that you describe, but whether that is such the case, we've been fortunate to receive goodwill. Must we always search for ulterior motives? Yes, we must. Have you forgotten Nasir? It's that sort of naive attitude that allowed him to remain undetected for so long. You people don't seem to get it. We're at war! All doubts, no matter how small, must be extinguished. If they aren't, we could be ignoring something that'll lead to our defeat, or to our death. Let's take Soren's comments under consideration and discuss this at length. We'll meet in an hour. Soren is once more the party pooper. Yeah, but he's actually right. Like, he is right, though. Okay, so Braum is force deployed. Oh, we broke the Sword PRF. There we go, now he has a Lance PRF. Oh, do we not have a Hammern? I guess we get that later. I know we get given it by, Amy. Danny, have you ever played any of the Super Robot Wars games? No, I've heard of them, but I don't know what they are. Sorry. What are they? General Ike, wait up! Say, if there's an enemy in the way, but I don't want to kill him, what do you think I should do? Is this about that stupid game again? Well, it's all your fault! You had to go and tutor Daniel, and now I've been on the losing streak. Tutor? You mean back when we were on board the ship? It was just one hint! Daniel doesn't like me, he's smart! I'm the one who thought up this game, but he's getting better and better! I hardly ever win anymore! Instead of playing the game, why don't you try some real combat? Stop joking around! We're happy-go-lucky traveling merchants! We don't know anything about fighting! Give me a break. It's nice that you're having fun and all, but please, can you save your stupid game for somebody who's not fighting their life day in and day out? Well, what do you expect? Everything's war, war, war! And there's no place for us. All we can do is play this game. Sorry, I'll just go lose again. Oh, for heaven's sake. Look, as an opponent you don't want to kill, just shove him out of the way. Then you don't have to fight him. Ah, thanks. You know, we are where we are, but I'll be with you to the end. I hope I can continue to be of service, alright? Yeah, thanks. Sorry for being irritable. That's alright. I know how much stress you've been under. Something on your mind? Oh, Commander Ike. Oops. I guess I'm supposed to call you General now? Commander's fine. So what's going on? Are you thinking about that person you're looking for? It's all settled. Actually, no, it's not really settled. I figured that worrying about it all the time wasn't doing me any good. I turned over every rock in Begnion during my search, but it's just getting easier to assume that everything's going well somewhere. Well, as long as you're happy, I won't say a word. So, what are you thinking about then? I didn't say before, but Dane is my homeland. Is that so? Yeah. Till a few years back, I lived in the slums of Navassa and stole for a living. So anyway, I went to go back to my old stomping grounds and saw some friends. The rest of the city is empty, but they're still here. I got no other place to go, you know? And what did they have to say? Everyone of them was mad that Crimea had won. They said if the king had been here, there's no way they would have been defeated. It's so weird. Until now, all they ever had to do was complain about this place. See, you know, Ashnard wasn't such a bad king, at least as far as we could see. If he were strong enough, he could one day rise up and become a knight. He would escape the filthy slums. He was the only king that ever gave us that chance, that hope. Don't get me wrong, I don't mind fighting for all of you. But still, seeing your homeland scarred and trampled like this is tough. I'm sorry. I know Crimea is suffering the same way, but I can't change how I feel. Leonardo reference. That's as close as we're gonna get to a Leonardo reference. Hello, how are you doing, Jackson? I'm turning 26 tomorrow. Oh, happy birthday! Did Soth hit a growth spurt between games? Canonically, yes, actually. Like, he literally does. So you're going to lead a small moon unit on a survey mission? Yeah, that's the plan. However, we've taken the castle. Though we've taken the castle, there's still pockets of Dane resistance. It's possible they may try to mount an attack and retake the palace. I want you to be in charge of the watch. That is, of course, not a problem. However, you're taking the princess along. Don't you think it would be safer to take more troops? Even if we split our battalion, we have enough men to handle both tasks. I'm just not used to moving around with such a large group. And for this mission, I'd like to keep the number of people involved as low as possible. It's not that I don't understand how you feel, but we will compromise. You know, for someone from Begnion, you're pretty flexible. It speeds things up considerably. To be a soldier, one must be able to adapt to circumstances around him quickly. Alright, we'll be back later. Take care. This is the place Nasir mentioned. Lamy Temple. I hope whatever he was trying to tell me will become clear once we get inside and take a look around. I can't believe Nasir was on Dane's side. I just can't. And he let that dragon girl get away. Although I'm sure he had reasons for that as well. I wonder if it was really Nasir? Besides my family, the only people I showed the medallion to were Titania, Lindsay, and Nasir. I thought I could trust him. I really did. Why did he do it? Missed. Thinking about the past isn't going to help. Let's take a look at this temple. What'd you say? The Crimean army is here? They want to investigate the temple. What should I tell them? Drod, this ain't good. I don't know what they're after, but if they find us mercenaries siding with Dane, they'll wipe us out. It's all the will of the goddess. Resign yourself to your fate. Accept it. Bat dong! No one's gonna roll over and die. Dying's for sissies. So tell me, how many are there? There appears to be 10 or so, including the women. Oh, that's good news. It is? That's the law, then, and we can take care of this on our own. It'll be like stealing baby from the cradle. Right, here's the plan. Pretend like you want to help them and lead them inside. And listen good. You best not whisper a word about us being here, or else... But I couldn't. What you ask is beyond me. Don't forget, we got all the other priests under our control. If you wanted to meet the goddess early, do as you're told. Oh dear. Alright. I'd like to take a look around. Please show us to each room. Very well. This is a very large room. Are you alright? Why are you shaking like that? Oh, goddess, please forgive me. It's a trap! You did it! Please forgive me. I thought something like this might happen. I don't know how you got wind of us, but showing up in such a small group means you're out of luck. None of you are getting out of here alive. We just fought our way to the Dane capital. You're not even gonna slow us down. Cocky, ain't ya? But who said this was gonna be a fair fight? Huh? What are you doing? Bring out the others. You fools are gonna be our shields. What? See? You ain't so useless after all. You filthy dogs, those are innocent people, you can't. Oh, mercy, please help me. Hey, if you don't want them pretty robes of yours turned red, you'll attack these scum. If you even think about betraying us, I'll kill every one of you. But you can't. Rhymians, please forgive us. We cannot allow our brothers to die. This cowardice will not stand. These priests are being made to fight against their will. We gotta try and save as many of them as possible. Let's go. So yeah, this guy is the droppable bolting. So first off, so Braum was force deployed, so we're deploying Braum. Khalil and Raisin is what we need. I'm having trouble spelling tonight. Schaefer is gonna get banned. Oh, because he's using the word kill, right. Silly Schaefer, didn't anyone tell you? YouTube doesn't like that word anymore. Also, that priest cannot count. There's 12 of us, not 10. The fuck does he mean 10 people, including the women? There's 12, including Alincia. L plus can't count. Alright, I think this works. Rob Gaming. Yeah, I hope this was worth that $5. Oh no! Mia can't shove this guy! Pathetic. How many times has Braum been force deployed? Maybe it's because he's a channel meme, but it seems like he's been force deployed a lot. He's only been force deployed twice. We had Zehark more than Braum. But we do love Braum in this house. Shove is her iconic move according to Engage. True. Alright, so we strap off this guy to get the second bolting tome. Give Braum some EXP as a treat. I don't think Braum can even... Yeah, Braum can't even reach combat. Even if he had a weapon, he wouldn't be able to do anything with it. I'll put him over here. I'll let him... Here, he can contribute by shoving Raisin. The iconic Engage shove move. Hey, Robes! If I get so much as scratch, you better get the healing. She also doesn't get this kill. Do we have a, hold on. I think we have a Spirit Dust we can give her. Rip Sigurd, you would have loved this enemy density. That would be such a bad idea, though. Because you get, so you get rewarded for leaving these guys alive. You get the S-rank staff if you leave these guys alive. I forgot to switch up Mia and Boyd's positions. I hate that you can't use items from preps. You have to go back to the base. It's so obnoxious. Alright, so we have Boyd do a shove. Tanith strap off. The Sage. Hey, Robes! If I get so much as scratch, you better get the healing. Weird choice? What do you mean, weird choice? It's a side objective. They're hostages. You gotta keep the hostages alive. That's the entire gimmick of this map, is you gotta shove people around to keep the hostages alive. I should have brought more priests. So babies dying. I meant how you can't use items in preps. Oh yeah, it's such a dumb decision. For some babies. Yeah, he said the line. He said the iconic line. Thank you very much. I never imagined we'd be rescued by soldiers from an enemy nation. There was no way we'd cut down innocent priests being forced to fight against their will. Father, we bear no ill will towards the kingdom of Dane itself. We only wish to reclaim the homeland, which was unjustly taken from us. That is the reason why we fight.
Shadowstar has just tipped $5. Brom, for reals.
Brom for real this time. All right, Brom on the bridge. Brom on the bridge. Thank you for the $5 donation, Shadowstar. Brom on the bridge. We had no desire to invade this land. Nothing else. Please believe that. I beg your pardon. May I have the favor of your name? Elincia Rydell Crimea. I am the sole survivor of the Crimean royal family. You... Oh. Let us give thanks that you are alive and well. And please, I beg your understanding as well. There are many Danes who do not support the king's actions. I understand. My young general. This is for you. Huh? As thanks for saving our lives. Now it's time to search this place. My lord Ike, may I join you? Sure, why not? Everyone's lending a... I Mist, I'm over here. Ike, this way, quickly! Raisin's in trouble! What? Raisin? What is it? He's been like this from the moment he set foot in this room. He's just staring at the walls. What is all this? Every wall has the same pattern on it. It's not a pattern. It's an ancient language. All charts and spells and magic scrolls are written thusly. Can you read it, Soren? Some, but not all. Spells are simple, whereas this is a complex narrative. I think Bruce Raisin could read it. I bet this is the same language that Leanne was speaking. It is. It's the Serenus language. Their chants are all in this language, too. So Raisin is reading what's written on the walls? It appears that way. Shall we leave him be? There's a lot of writing here, and it could take hours. I think it's a good idea. Ike? What is it? From what I could gather, I think a person was locked in this room for some time in the past. You don't know who it was, do you? I wasn't able to read enough writing, but I found this under the bed. Is this? I think whoever it may have belonged to was imprisoned in this room. I apologize. I took up too much of your time. Raisin, you don't look so good. Why don't you rest for a bit? No, I'm fine. More important is that we talk. About the owner of this feather? Was that in the room? Soren found it. Whose was it? Lilina, my older sister. The writing on the walls is hers. You have an older sister, too? Will you tell us about it? She was kidnapped 20 years ago on the night of the Serenus massacre. I thought that the Leah had been murdered along with my brothers and sisters. I believed that until today. Who took her? The walls say that it was a large human. I probably never knew who it was. He thrust a clan treasure at her and demanded that she use her magic to revive the thing sealed inside. He exhorted her again and again, but to no avail. Lilia refused this request every time, because she did not possess the power. Someone wanted to revive the Dark God. Shortly after she was brought here, Lilia fell ill and collapsed. I'm not surprised. It was a terrible time. She was imprisoned in that tiny room with no view of the earth or sky. That's off! I'm sorry, I just feel so sad for Lilia, and for Raisin too. I beg your pardon. Let me continue. A young Bjork came to the room to care for Lilia. She had bluish hair and blue eyes, and her heart was unusually pure for Bjork. In time, Lilia and she came to be friends, shared a mutual trust. Lilia decided to entrust her hopes into the woman. They shared no common language, so it took some time. But eventually, the Bjork woman understood what it was Lilia wanted, which was to take the treasure in the song and flee this temple. Brother, was there anything written about this Bjork woman? A name, perhaps? Translated to our language, it's probably Elena. I knew it! Mother! It was our mother! What? Are you sure? Our mother's name was Elena. Like me, her hair was blue, as were her eyes. Grayson, the object she referred to as your clan treasure, was this an aged bronze medallion, wasn't it? How did you know that? The medallion became my mother's keepsake. The song, too. My parents both gave their lives to protect it. Ike, you and Mr. Elena's children? Then Leonard's medallion is here? Medallion was stolen, probably by Dane. Can't. This is unbelievable. Can a thing like this be chance? To be honest, I don't fully understand all that's happened, but it all makes sense. It all comes together. Aha! So Ike has blue hair after all. Mist! That's the song, but the melody's a little different, isn't it? It's similar to the song Raisin and Leanne sang in the forest. My mother used to sing it as a lullaby. It's the song of release, the one Lilia entrusted to Elena. But I wore the medallion and sang that song almost every single night, and nothing ever happened. The magical effect of the song is awakened by the power of the singer. It can't be unleashed by just anyone. The true song can only be sung by a girl named Altina. Lolina wanted your mother to take the medallion to Altina and return the medallion to its rightful place in Serenus Forest. The story is becoming clearer and clearer. My father fled Dane to protect my mother, who was carrying the amulet. Ike, how did you know? Volk told me. He told me about my father's past and the amulet, the Dark God too. So you know everything. King Ashnard took Lolina, didn't he? That would be the final piece of the puzzle. After all, the man who found my father was the king's henchman. Ike, are you saying you know who killed Commander Grail? You never said anything about that. We all thought his murderer was unknown. Why didn't you say anything? I don't know. I never felt like talking about it. He was a Dane soldier, wasn't he? Who was he? Who's the man who killed Commander Grail? Ike, tell me! You discuss this later? Yes, of course. Up to this point, we've all been fighting for the liberation of Crimea. Even if we now add to the stopping the Dark God being released from punishing Commander Grail's killer, our enemy remains unchanged. King Dane and his henchmen are the ones that we must defeat. It's mysterious, isn't it? I mean, Raisin said the same thing earlier, but could all this merely be a coincidence? The fall of Crimea, Ike's parents, the death of Raisin's sister, the fact that everything leads back to Dane? It's true, it never changes the meaning behind this. The treatment of Lolina is one thing, but the assassination of the former apostle, the framing and destruction of my nation, it was all part of Dane's plan to steal the medallion and the song. The reason I fight. $4.20 weed! Hold on 1 second. If that's the decision you've reached, we'll respectfully comply. If we march quickly and know that someone's protecting our backs, it'd be a huge relief. As you wish. May fortunes of war be with you, the Crimean army. If you have need of soldiers, send word. We'll move out at top speed. I'll be counting on it. The information gathered at the Palmani Temple leads Ike ever closer to the hidden truths behind the war. The assassination of Begnion's former apostle led to the massacre of the Sarans. Sarana's princess was kidnapped, the medallion was stolen. A complex scheme seemed to connect these events. Now those threads have become clearer and clearer. Ashnard's motives are still a mystery, but his silhouette lurks in the shadows of all that happens. Ike returns from the temple and renounces all rights to the rule of Dane. Those rights are passed to the general Selgius of Begnion, the apostle herself. Crimean army absorbs yet another troop from Begnion, and with its might increased, marches on the Dane-Crimea border. The next goal is the Riven Bridge, a massive structure that connects the two countries. Zelgius is kind of a nothing character in this game. Yeah, but I do think he shows up like he is sus. He is sus. But he kind of has no impact other than like to show up and be sus. My lord Ike, if I may have a moment? Of course, what is it? The soldiers say that tomorrow we'll be able to see the Great Bridge, and once we cross it, we'll be in Crimea. That's what I've been told. It feels like we've been away for many years. Crimea is the land where I was born and raised. To be removed from it, I feel at this late juncture that I now know almost nothing of my own country. It's an unreal experience. I know what you mean. I don't have the sense that we're on the brink of being back in Crimea either. I don't even remember this area at all. Maybe it's because I was born in Gallia, raised in the countryside. Countries are joined together like this at all over the continent. Really and all like that. So am I. For one who knew nothing of life outside the royal villa, everything is so big. Big. Guess you're right. When we left Crimea, it was spring. The snows were melting. Days were getting longer and the weather was mild. It's been almost a year since we departed. Only a year, but the distance we traveled to get here has been long and hard. It feels like many years have passed us by. And yet, this is the land where I was born and raised. Ah, my dear sweet Crimea. How is it that you feel so far away? For me too, Crimea is my homeland. We're almost there. Let's go home. As you say, my lord Ike, let's go home. Oh, what a romantic setting. Makes it hard to make an appearance. I guess I could just leave you two. Huh? I know that voice. Hey there, Ike. Looks like we stayed alive long enough to be reunited. Aren't we the lucky ones? Ranulf! My Lord Ranulf, how nice it is to see you again. My, Princess Lincia, welcome home. I'd curtsy, but the tail makes it look silly. What are you so darn chipper about? Once I heard the news that the Crimean army had taken the Dane capital, I ran all the way to greet you. How'd things go in Gallia? You're not engaged in open hostilities with Dane, are you? Not yet. What's that supposed to mean? In light of your army's success, the elders have finally agreed on something. Gallia will lend its full support to Princess Crimea's efforts to liberate her homeland. It's a done deal. Really? So the Gallian army is going to... We're going to establish communications with them and create a united front. That being said, Gallia is here to support you. The Crimean army will always be at the center of the effort. Don't forget that. King Gallia is being most gracious. That posture will allow Crimea to lay claim to any victories we achieve. Don't say things like that. I'm shocked that you would understand such subtleties. Who are you, and what have you done with Ike? I don't believe you have the right to speak to me like that. I'm kidding. Actually, Soren just lectured me in the same situation. Reinforcements arrived from Begnion. Of course! You were tutored by your nervous little snap officer. Now I get it. Has he snapped yet? He seems high-strung. King Canicus is always thinking of Crimea, isn't he? How can I ever repay him? Princess, let's win our country back. When that's done, please rebuild the bonds of friendship between our nations. That would be the ultimate way to say thank you, wouldn't it? Yes, of course. Ike has 2 hands. Khalil MVP. As expected. But yeah, we've got a unit review time, because Ranulf just joined us, unless maybe he doesn't join until... No, I guess he doesn't join until the map itself, does he? Unless I missed him. Should have been Braum VP. We're about to get the Braum VP. We're about to get the Braum VP. Calm down. We're about to get the Braum VP. Bro. Braum doesn't realize how much people are rooting for him. 1 million bonus experience levels. Yo, the speed! The Night Ward worked! Never mind. I like Braum being a middle-aged man in a series where characters tend to be in their 20s or teens. Yeah, it's definitely nice. I like him for that reason, and I like him because he's a funny meme. Speed again. The Night Ward paying off, baby! 2 whole speed. He's going crazy with that 2 whole speed. These stats are awful, can I just say? Like, we just got Tyronio, and Tyronio just has better stats than Braum across the board. Romulus Prime. Romulus Prime. Braum is so strong. Braumageddon. He's looking brobulent. I don't know if you're watching Dawn Dun's 0% Radiant Dawn run, but it's funny how the Braum R support saves so much damage. I'm not watching that run, but Braum's Water Affinity is... I'm actually recording a Radiant Dawn tier list.
Here we go.
Nef 2?
Neffany 2? Are we bringing both of them out of retirement? We're bringing both of them out of retirement? Thank you for the $5 donation. We're bringing both of them out of retirement, it would appear. I was gonna give even more to Braum, but we have to spread the BXP. If I'm being forced to field both of them, we have to spread the BXP. Where is she? Do we have... Oh god, we don't have enough to promote her. Oh god, we don't have enough to promote her. Oh no, we don't have enough to promote her. But to answer your question, water support Braum on a savior unit is like legitimately, even outside of a 0% or an LTC or whatever, it's legitimately just a very fucking good strategy. Oftentimes worth a deployment slot. I personally like it on Titania, mostly because I have Har escort around like Ike or Heather or someone who needs to be somewhere. But you can do it on Har too if you're just having Har do stuff. I don't think we have enough to promote her. Does the support happen when you're carrying someone? In Radiant Dawn, it's different from game to game, but in Radiant Dawn, if you are carrying your support partner, you do get the bonuses. So the strategy that I like to go with is give Titania Savior or Oscar Savior, and then give them a C support with Braum, and that's +1 attack and defense, just flat out. And then when they're rescuing Braum, they get that bonus, right? And that's sometimes worth the deployment slot. Like, what, it was Rolf gonna do more than that? Right? That sort of thing. I guess the LTC is doing it with Har. I personally, like, in a casual playthrough, I wouldn't recommend that for Har, just because as your only flyer in the Grail Mercenaries, it's useful to have him able to rescue other people's. But, from an LTC perspective, right, if you've got everything planned out, I can understand Har being the recipient of the Braum favoritism. This is why I fucking hate Neffany. Her growths are awful. Look at this shit. Where did all of my BXP go? Where did all of my BXP go? It's a poor man's pair-up. Yeah, it's a poor man's pair-up, but, like, it's still a pair-up. What is your opinion on Double Heaven support? It's goated, but most people think it's bad because they're stupid. Fire Emblem fans will say that accuracy boosting, you know, affinities, supports, skills, whatever, are bad, but then complain when they have 60% hit rates. Obviously game dependent, and in Path of Radiance, it's a little bit, it's not as good, you know? But I do think it's still useful, like, early on or whatever, Leif giving Heaven support. But in Radiant Dawn, it's absolutely good. Because even though you can forge plus hit in order to help with accuracy issues, money is actually really tight in Radiant Dawn. So having a Heaven support, whether it's double Heaven or single Heaven, genuinely does a lot for your accuracy. Double Earth, though. But the thing is, in Radiant Dawn, Double Earth is not actually a meme. Because you can actually get Double Earth. Like, I think Double Earth in Path of Radiance is a meme. Because, one, enemy hit rates just aren't good anyway. Like, you don't need it. And two, the only pairing that does it is Oscar Ike. I'm pretty sure it's just Oscar Ike, right? We've been over this earlier. Is it Oscar Tanith as well, or is it just Oscar Ike? Tanith does Oscar. So Oscar Tanith or Oscar Ike, right? Oscar Tanith comes online super late. Oscar Ike is also, remember, the numbers are different in these games. In this game, it's 5 for a C support, right? So, Oscar and Ike C support double Earth, you get 10 avoid? That's fucking nothing! Z-Hark Tanith, is that a support? It's not. It's not. It's not a support. 5 avoid per level is so nothing. But people act like it's the biggest fucking... The one that really blows my mind is people who gas up the Ike Soren support. You get C support in chapter 10, and then you don't get anything, or you get C support in chapter 9, and then you don't get anything for a million years. The Ike Soren support is so slow. Give me that 5 fucking avoid, and then Soren still dies. What is your opinion on Ike Titania? My opinion on every support, just to cut this conversation so it doesn't last a million years, my opinion on every single support in Path of Radiance is it does not give you a good enough benefit to be worth it. Pair people up that you want to be paired up for story reasons. None of the Path of Radiance supports give anything fucking worthwhile. And it's because the support benefits are so low. The numbers are so low. It is not worth routing your deployment around getting specific supports, because the benefit is either 0.5 to attack, 0.5 to defense. And mind you, everything in Path of Radiance rounds down, so at C support that's nothing, and at A support it's the same as a B support, unless you link up multiple 0.5 defense, 0.5 attack. And then 2.5 or 5 to hit and avoid, which is a nothing burger. Even Double Heaven, which is, I think, the strongest combination in a vacuum. And the reason I say in a vacuum is because if you have the money for Forges, which you do because it's Path of Radiance, you can just replicate the effect with Forges. It gives 10 hit per level, which is so nothing burger, right? Like, so nothing burger. That's a complete hit support only gives 10 hit. And a complete avoid support gives 10 avoid per level, which means at A support, it's 30. That's supposed to be your ultimate bonus? 30 avoid? Are you kidding me? Or a double attack one is 3 attack total? It's so nothing. Have the forges been done yet? They haven't. I have to adjust the air conditioner though. It didn't quite get in the right way. Oh my god, fucking hell. I gotta take the shades off. Because otherwise I'm never getting anything done with this. I'm gonna be completely bedridden tomorrow. I tell you that much. Stay up, you piece of shit. Stay up. Oh my god. This is... okay? Good? No, we're not.
From and Nevni shared PRF called Pitchfork, Max Man +2 hit +1 weight. Smile. I guess if Therese any other farm coded characters they can share it.
Ugh. Gross. God damn it. This fucking thing. Oh my god. Yeah. There we go. Okay. Sorry for the disruption. And it looks like we had a $20 donation. Rom and Nephany get a weapon called the Pitchfork. 2 might, 1 weight, +2, plus max might, +2 hit, +1 weight. Those are such strange numbers. Sorry, my brain had trouble processing it. So max might, +2 hit, +1 weight, and it's a shared PRF. Thank you for the 20 SGD donation. Let me go ahead and... Oh, wait, it's outfit, right? Yeah, it's outfit. Outfit. Okay. The Brom, Forge... Since Nephany starts at fucking E rank, it has to be an iron, right? They can now loop into Villager. Okay. Max might... +2 hit. I'm assuming you mean 2 levels, which puts it up to +10. And 0 crit, +1 weight. The number of times I've been forced to adjust the weight on weapons. Pitchfork. I gotta give them weapons now. Oh, I have the info too. Oh, this is where we get the hammer. Soren, are you in here? Yes. Ike, it's late. What do you want? Shh. Ike? Oh no, how strange. I was sure he'd come this way. Yoo-hoo! That voice. It's the woman from the shop, isn't it? Commander Ike, where have you gone, handsome? Crud. Did you run in here to escape? Look, whatever that woman corners me, it takes forever to get away. Let me hide down here until things simmer down. Begin marching tomorrow morning. This is a waste of valuable time. I'll go chase her away. Wait, Soren. Ike-poo! Where are you? Amy? Ew. Soren. Hi, Soren. What are you doing out so late? Do you have some business with Ike? Oh, yes, I do. I found a special something I'd like to give to him. Do you know where he is? Ike is in a war meeting. If you have something for him, I can hold on to it for you. What should I do? You see, I have this new staff. The staff is very valuable. I'm not sure I feel comfortable simply handing over to someone who doesn't understand that. It's a Himern staff, is it not? A rare staff that can take any item, no matter how battered and worn, and repair it completely. Why, you're right. Quite knowledgeable, aren't you? If I may continue, I believe that there is only one of these in the entire world. It's truly priceless. And you want to give this to Ike? Well, I do want to be helpful. If you truly wish to capture Ike's attention, bringing him staves and whatnot will avail you nothing. What? Really? Oh dear, I was hoping he would like it. Food, however, is much more effective than a staff. He's particularly fond of spicy meat dishes. Is that so? Cooking is not something I'm skilled at, but... Oh, I've got it! I know the perfect dish! Ah, good. He'll be very pleased. What about the staff? Tee-hee! You can keep it as payment for the cooking tip. Take care of it. She's unexpectedly generous. I received something quite nice for your admirer, Aikipu. Thank you so much. Hey, wait a minute! Wingman Soren. More like boyfriend Soren. Food is how you please Ileana. So they're finally here, are they? Has the work on the bridge been finished? And your answer had better be yes. Yes, General. Do you think it'll work? Sometimes the simplest of traps have the best results. Lure the enemy in and finish them off one by one. Got it? Listen up, dogs. There'll be no retreating today. Stop Crimea's advance here. We'll not allow them to gain the comfort of their homeland. Any who do not fight to the death will face my lance. Here's the bridge. Wow, it's huge. I doubt if Dane's gonna let us cross over without objection. Yeah, I think that's highly unlikely. Titania, it's time to march. Make sure the troops stay alert and move with caution. Understood, Commander. Say, Ike, there's one more thing I've been meaning to ask you. What is it? I haven't seen Seer around. What's happened to him? He was declared an enemy combatant and locked up. What? Hey, I understand if you being irked that he didn't mention testing you at all, but treating him like some criminal is too... Testing me? What are you talking about? Oh, nice weather, eh? We're going to talk now. Seer is a Dane spy? No way, that's not possible. He was our spy. You're telling me he was a Gallian spy? None of this makes sense to me. But he worked for us on behalf of the king. But Dane, as a Laguz, he would have absolutely no reason to work for them. But there was a Goldon named Enna who was working for the General Dane. Are you serious? Yeah, we were forced to fight her in the Dane capital. When we attempted to capture her, Nasir intervened and allowed her to escape. He betrayed us. Wait, hold a minute. If that was the case, I can see why... No, even so, teaming up with Dane is just too much. I hate to interrupt what you're doing, but we've arrived at the bridge. Let me speak to Nasir, please. Once we've finished with this battle, we can go together, alright? Of course. Make sure to frame Petrine for your war crimes. Alright, Har, time for you to go to work. No, Mom, 5 more minutes. Dozing off on the battlefield? You've got a lot of nerve, don't you? Hey, wake up or I'll burn you to a crisp. Alright, has the enemy arrived? Yeah, they just got here. Now get out here and do your job. I'm all over it. Absolute fool. Rom and Nephany will inherit her flame red. Oh god, it's bullshit bridge. I have decided I think I'm gonna make the bridge even more bullshit by not pulling up a map. Well, here we are. And there's the Dane army on the other side, as expected. They're already in battle formation, waiting to give us a warm welcome. Oh, that's charming. That's just what I want. Oh, well said. And by the way, I thought I'd join you today. Not as a Gallian, but as part of our army, right? It's a problem, I can always sit this one out. Of course not. Thank you for your continued support, Randolph. Huh, the pleasure's all mine. Let's go and give some Danes. Alright, now we have Ranulf, and now we can do the Ranulf unit review. Ranulf's pretty alright. Ranulf's pretty alright. He is yet another filler unit Laguz. Unfortunately, he shows up just way too late for that role to be, like, particularly useful. While transformed, his stats are better than this, because he will have 25 strength, 21 skill, 20 speed, 22 defense, and 9 res, right? So those are his bonuses when he's transformed. But he's also stuck on 1 range. He's stuck dealing with the transformation gauge, and it's a pretty inconvenient one. Starts at 10, so he gets 14 on turn 1, 18 turn 2, and transforms turn 3. Not the end of the world, but it's inconvenient, right? And at this point, just having a sword paladin, like, locked to a weak, basically an iron sword, is just not good enough anymore, even with Ranulf's good stats. And with the demi-band, obviously, he takes a penalty, if you give him the demi-band, so it's just annoying. Overall, he can be useful filler, but it's at a point when you probably aren't in the market for useful filler anymore. So we're probably not going to use him. He one-rounds enemies. Does he? Enemies in Path of Radiance are very bulky. Like, he'll one-round the unpromoted ones, but promoted enemies, I doubt it. 44 HP and 11 defense? Even when he doubles them, he's not one-rounding the warriors. Enemy cats. Enemy wyverns. Like, he'll one-round the unpromoted enemies, but that's not impressive. Better than Liar? Liar's not in this game. Liar's not in this game. But yeah, I think he's just too little too late. I will say this, I think he's sometimes shit on a little bit too much, because if you're in, like, an Iron Man gone wrong or whatever, he is a good filler unit. It's just, you know, we're past the point in the game where filler units are useful, but he's not on the same tier as someone like Neffany or Braum, where they can't even really take the filler role. Like, he can take the filler role, you just gotta deal with transformation, and it's just not really worth it, right? Braum is god tier, what do you mean? I mean, our Braum is unfortunately our Braum and Neffany are getting fielded. Oh god, are we undeploying Mia? I mean, what the fuck even is this team? Chat, what is this fucking team? What is this team where I feel bad about undeploying Mia? This team sucks. I have to give weapons as well. Figure this weapons situation. Alright, so Jill is gonna be our rear guard. This team sucks as in can't one round, but killing everything is just boring. I mean, one rounding is not really the issue. It's just like they don't do anything. Like what? I get that you're saying like, oh, so what if they can't one round? But what do they do, right? Like, are you saying, oh, Maya can tank stuff? Not with these stats. I get the instinct to be like, you know, you won't soft lock the game. And you won't soft lock the game, but like, that doesn't stop a team or composition or a unit or whatever from being bad. I'll be honest, I think Path of Radiance is boring even using bad units. I don't think they spice up the gameplay. If anything, they just make it take longer. So, like, while I agree that just having your, you know, 4 Cavaliers one-round everything is a boring way to approach this game, I think that unfortunately it is also just, like, the way to approach this game, right? Like, why does Braum have the Pegasus band? Is this Tsubaki? It's like backwards Tsubaki, an Armor Knight with the Pegasus band. Can we pay for Vibes mode? Yeah, I think it's like $20. Maybe I forgot to write it in there. It's not written in there. Chat, what do you think a fair price for Vibes mode is? 10 bucks? 20 bucks? What do you think? The Cavaliers are boring. All of the units are boring! All of the units are boring! Like, yeah, you can move your Cavaliers, 9 squares forward and just hit end turn and then watch 10,000 enemies crash against them. Or you can move your Armor Knight 6 squares and end turn and watch 10,000 enemies crash against them. Like, it's equally boring. I'm gonna put it at 15. I'll cut the middle of the two. $15 for Vibes mode. Ask if you don't know. It'll be Vibes mode for one map. Attention, let's go. Maybe I'll catch a nap while we fly. It's sort of like, I did an FE4 run using only infantry, right? And that doesn't make the game any less boring either. It just makes it take longer. Like, I think there's this idea that, like, if you say, one of the more simplistic Fire Emblems is boring, like Birthright, right? Because my complaint against Birthright is, like, it's boring to just hit end turn and wait for 10,000 years while enemies crash against your immortal characters. The response from people who enjoy Birthright is like, oh, well, don't use Ryoma then. It's like, yeah, don't use Ryoma. Then I just end up, using Rinka. Well, don't use Rinka, I'll use Tsubaki. Like, whoever you use, you run into the same problem of either Riona's the pre-packaged immortal god, or anyone you train up becomes an immortal god. What's the one move FE7 playthrough? I think that is literally impossible. Battle Before Dawn. Unless you get earlier access to movement staffs than you would in vanilla, that challenge is literally impossible because of Battle Before Dawn. Or requires an absurd amount of luck. I don't know if Battle Before Dawn, if you can dodge tank, if you can have him dodge tank, Zelgius dodge tank. I don't think he can. I think that the Sword Reaver guy has 100% hit on him. What is Vibes mode? Vibes mode is, there's a setting in Path of Radiance. I'll give you a preview. I'll give you a pre-through. Now you can't see the combat forecast and just have to go off of vibes. That's what Vibes mode is. Hey, I got a longbow. I genuinely didn't realize I would double that guy. And that's the fun of Vibes mode. Zephiel Zelgius is the one in this game. Oh, did I say Zelgius by accident? Path of Radiance is on my brain. I mean, obviously I'm playing Path of Radiance, right? Sorry. I got them mixed up because of Path of Radiance. That's an effective weapon, by the way. Braum just fucking took 22. Or, what was that, 12? Effective weapons are such jokes in this game. That's why I wasn't worried about the hammer. Weapon triangle advantage, effective weapon, and it does fucking nothing. I wish this game was an actual good video game with good maps. The problem is, like, even Maniac Mode doesn't solve its issues. It's a shame. Like, I wish I still liked this game as much as I did when I first played it. Because this was my first Fire Emblem game. And, like, obviously I liked it. I think, you know, most people are gonna like their first game in Fire Emblem, or they'll stop playing Fire Emblem. Disliking the first game you played in the series isn't going to encourage you to seek out others, right? So, like, obviously I liked it as my first Fire Emblem game. But, I don't anymore. My first was Birthright. I'm a proud Awakening baby. Yeah, chat, everyone sound off. What was your first Fire Emblem game? I'm curious. Awakening, GBA. Which GBA? Sacred Stones or Blazing Sword? Or Binding Blade? Like, did you get a copy of Binding Blade first? Awakening. Great Ether! Birthright. Game FAQs. The Game FAQs Wars. Awakening was my first, and I feel the same way about it. I think I like Awakening more than the average Fire Emblem fan. But it's still, like, it's got so many issues, you know? The early game of Lunatic, not Lunatic Plus, but the early game of Lunatic is, I think, one of the better early games in Fire Emblem. Up there with Radiant Dawn's early game. It's probably better than Radiant Dawn's early game, honestly, because Radiant Dawn's early game does suffer from having some bullshit. Pair Up is stupid in Awakening. That's a common take, and I disagree with it, and here's why. So, obviously, it's significantly stronger in Awakening than it is in Fates, right? But remember, and the enemies can't pair up also, right? But one thing that I think gets disregarded in talking about how, like, Awakening pair up is, it's unbalanced because it's really, like, it's strong, there's no reason not to pair up or whatever, and the enemies can't pair up, so you just have, like, a huge advantage over it. One thing that I think gets disregarded is the fact that enemies have a huge stat advantage over you. Pair Up is meant to be the equalizer between, especially on higher difficulties, the overwhelming stats of the enemies as compared to your units, right? And so I think, like, Awakening's pair-up is incredibly fucking strong. But I actually think, obviously I don't, and I've talked about before how I don't think balance is what you aim for in video games, but I do actually think Awakening's pair-up is balanced in terms of, it's balanced for, like, it helps you make up the difference, right? Okay. We use the power of friendship. But, like, genuinely, though, that's the theme of the game! Like, it's ludonarrative consonance. That's the theme of the game, is the power of friendship. And so the fact that your units are not strong enough on their own, and they need to team up in order to take down stronger foes, is genuinely good. Like, I don't think Awakening's story is particularly great, Although, much like with Engage, I think people exaggerate how bad it is, right? You know, the whole, like, it ruins the gameplay because the story is so bad thing is very eye-rolly to me. The people act like the story broke into their house and killed their grandma. But I do think that, like, an area where it really shines is ludonarrative consonance, in taking this gameplay mechanic and storytelling through it, which is something that's been on my mind because I'm doing the FF4 video, and that's sort of the game that originated that idea. Probably isn't the first one, but it's the first, like, dominant one, right? It really brought it to the forefront. So Awakening sort of like, I think more so than any other Fire Emblem game, it is very good at the storytelling through gameplay. Although, I will say, most Fire Emblem games have some amount of storytelling through gameplay. Awakening makes it, like, a key part of it, right? I like Awakening Lunatic Plus. I kind of just hate one-rounding everything meta every game runs into. The OG Engage meta was poison, chain attacks, and chip damage, and now it's stat stacking. I mean, I think there wasn't an OG Engage meta. I think there were, like, you know, 12 different groups of people that all thought they had the best way to handle every solution, and sort of each gave their own take on, like, what the meta was. Because I didn't think chain attacks were particularly strong to start out. Like, I was never on team chain attack. That was an Excelblum thing. The Hero Ball strategy. And I think Hero Ball, you know, obviously it's a strategy that you can do. It can be successful. But not only is it super boring of a strategy, but it's also, like, more investment. And it does still have a chance of failure, like it's not Iron Man safe, which is not true for some of the other, like, meta suggestions. Oh, Engage Hero, you exist. What's the name of Anna's boyfriend? Robin? No, Anna's boyfriend is Jake. I just wanted to make that joke. Alright, let's kill this guy too. My meta is Sword Griffin Chloe. I think, Chloe is like a big part of LTC stuff, right? Am I wrong about that? Oh, Oscar fell in. Awakening Anna marriage rep. What? Oh, right, because I made the Robin joke. I immediately forgot about it. I was like, wait, when did we talk about that? 2 seconds ago. This is how you know the streamer has ADHD. I literally made the joke 2 seconds ago, and then someone references it because they're on, like, a 2-second chat delay, and I'm like, what? What the fuck are you talking about? Are you crazy? No, Danny, you're the crazy one. Or, more realistically, you have a memory disorder. What are your thoughts on Dark Deity 1 and 2? I haven't played either of them. I heard Dark Deity 1 was awful, and I've seen some of the maps from it, and it looked pretty bad. I also heard, prior to Dark Deity 2 coming out, that the devs were taking a lot, like, the community feedback in stride, and were, you know, making a lot of adjustments, and it looked very promising. And then, so Titanium Legman is another YouTuber. If you haven't already, subscribe, you know, check it out. Check him. I think he uses he, him pronouns. I might be wrong. Apologies if I am. But Titanium Legman said that Dark Deity was, their favorite game of last year. So, you know, that sounds good, right? Like, obviously, I'm not gonna have the same taste as literally everyone. I know that, Legman's a lot higher on Path of Radiance than I am. But, like, any game that's good enough for someone to say it's their favorite of the year is, you know, I think that's worthy of my attention. It's just something I haven't gotten around to, you know, right? The maps were rough in one. Yeah. Now then, let's see how things look. Anna and Awakening is playable. I want to make Jake playable in my Romhack sequel. Yeah, I mean, he's playable in, Shadow Dragon, right? FE1, FE3, or he's not in FE3, but he's in FE1 and FE11, and then 12. Captain Har?
Greetings, Jill. You're still alive. See?
That's what I was gonna say to you. You survived. I'm very pleased.
Yeah, General Sharm left me in charge. I'm supposed to get our survivors and their families to beg me on. I can't die until that's done.
I see, but then, Captain, why are you still in Dane? I believe it or not, I'm a vindictive man. Revenge for the General is something I couldn't let go. Oh, but that... Don't get the wrong idea. You're not the enemy I'm seeking. Huh? But one's responsible for General Sharm's death of the Danes. They ain't pretended to return so I could fold to the fold so I could get close to General Petrine. I'm just waiting for my chance. But I think they may be on to me. My unit's a bunch of tough guys who serve as Petrine's watchdogs. Plus, I've been ordered to charge the Crimeans head on. That's Dane's way of killing two birds with one stone. Don't do it. Come fight by our sides. If you're looking to kill Danes, then we share the same goal. Jill, I don't trust Crimea any more than I do Dane. I'm sick to death of serving countries. Captain? Still, I can't abandon the daughter of the man whom I want so much. I guess I'm changing sides again. Oh, really? Thank you, Captain. No, you got that backwards. Pardon? I'm a new recruit, so I'm under you. Thanks in advance, Captain. What? Don't be silly. Wait, Captain? So this is Har. Har is routinely overrated in Path of Radiance because he is a god in Radiant Dawn. And I think people just associate, you know, he's a pre-promoted Wyvern. They remember that he's great in the sequel, so he must be good in Path of Radiance, right? He has less strength than Tyronio, less defense than Tyronio, less HP than Tyronio, and only 17 speed, which is only 4 more than Tyronio. This guy doesn't double fucking anything. He's a flyer, so I do think he's better, but he is very much like the definition of a filler unit. His speed and skill are the most shaky stats, for sure. His accuracy is going to be a little bit questionable, even in Path of Radiance. And his speed is... He's gonna struggle to double stuff. Like, even just looking at the enemies he's next to, right? He doubles these guys, right? He won't double the Paladin. He doubles the Cavalier. So he doubles unpromoteds, because these guys are unpromoted, right? Yeah, they're unpromoted. But even then, like, he doesn't double the Myrmidon, right? So he struggles. He comes with the Brave Axe, and he kind of leans on it, because he's gonna struggle to double promoted foes. And more, we're gonna be running into almost exclusively promoted foes. Don't get me wrong. I think he's good. Like, I do think he's a good filler unit, but, like, mid-tier at best. He's not dying. Yeah, he won't die. Not dying isn't a high bar, though. Most Path of Radiance units shrug off enemy attacks. Unless, again, you're somewhat like one of the mages, right? Or, like, Mist, Nephany, that sort of thing, right? I mean, Nephany's got equal defense to him at this point with the Night Ward. Does the Brave Axe impact people's thoughts on him? I don't think so. I literally think it's simple. You know, he falls into the same camp as someone like Ike, right? Where people remember how good this unit is in the sequel, and just conflate the two of them, conflate their performances, right? And it happens in the opposite direction as well. Marcia sometimes gets overrated in Radiant Dawn because of how good she is in Path of Radiance. That sort of stuff. Poor Ileana. She died. She died a long time ago. She died in Chapter 17. How many pitfalls did you fall into? I think 2. I've deliberately avoided a map. No, only... Yeah, 2. I decided as an extra challenge, no map. I thought that might be fun. Radiant on Marcia is so sad. She's more salvageable than some others. But yeah, it is sad. She is sad. Let's heal up the Meteor. She and Torgot are in the sky watching over Khalil. So true. God, I sunk all of my bonus experience into the 2 worst units. I hope you know that they're not getting deployed unless you pay for it. Like, this isn't changing. This isn't... They're not permanent team members. Alright, this is a pitfall. I know this is a pitfall. But I'm gonna purposely put Boyd in it so that he can get through, because it's faster that way. I want a character who is the child of Anna and Jake in a new game. That would be neat, but I don't think that's ever gonna happen. Thoughts on us paying for the Hamurn of our choice? I've already used 2 out of 3 charges, so I think that would be, a very limited opportunity. Fudge nuggets. Oh, fudge nuggets. We need to repair Soren's forge. Has it... I literally don't think we can. I literally don't think we can, because it hasn't lost any durability. And it won't let you use it on a full durability item. Is this an Iron Man? Mark number 5,000 of someone popping into the stream just to ask if it's an Iron Man. I'm just gonna start not answering that question anymore. I'm just gonna not answer that question anymore. Doesn't Radiant Dawn Path of Radiant conflation happen to Astrid too? I seem to remember her being considered quite good. I don't think that does, because it's such an extreme case. Like, she is genuinely in contention for the worst unit in the game. I think that there's a solid argument that she's worse than Lyre and Kai'Sa. Is this a wood woman? But yeah, it is someone that hit the nail on the head. It's just the, you know, the Nuzlocke Pokemon thing. Is this a Furious guy? This is a Guy Fieri. This is actually a Guy Fieri run. I'm only allowed to use units who have eaten Guy Fieri's spicy wings. Astrid is good in Path of Radiance. Yeah, she is. She is. You know, I mean, she's a Cavalier, right? Like, she's in the same level as Kieran and Oscar of just like Cavalier good moment. Paragon is just a really fucking good skill, so even being underleveled. Sending Braum to Flavor Town? Is this the Tony Stark? No, but it is a box of cave in a scrap. The spicy wings. Drools. Is this the Krusty Krab? No, this is Patrick! Oh, speed defense. Honestly, I'll fucking take it. I'll fucking take it at this point. Is this a YouTube stream? Actually, this is a Twitch stream. Y'all are just guests on my Twitch stream. God, Neffany and Braum! No! Why are they so bad? Stab. I like how this guy gave Oscar the Madeir treatment. Like, he attacked him from 2 range instead of 1 range. You didn't have to disrespect my boy like that. Oh my god. Oh my goodness gracious. Have we used Kieran? I used him for a little bit. No, this is a Kick stream. No, I'm never gonna support Kick. For a variety of reasons. Oh, that was definitely an audible fart. Mario Party ass map. This is funnier when you don't know the pitfalls. It's at least, I just wanted to fucking feel something, you know? Path of Radiance playthrough, feel something challenge. At least the pitfalls will make me go, oh, I missed. Oh, this is a pitfall. I know for a fact this is a pitfall, but boy's going in it anyway. It's not a pitfall? Thought it was. Damn. Washed streamer doesn't even know where the pitfalls are. Oh, is there one right directly in front of Ike? I think there's one directly in front of Ike. Look at that! Tanith is still facing 0 hit from these people. Maybe it's a pitfall in Radiant Dawn. The Radiant Dawn map is completely different, so that space doesn't exist in Radiant Dawn. Like, it's a completely different map because they set the sandbags up in the opposite direction. Stab. 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 Mending Braum. Ring! The animations take so much longer here, too, because you gotta watch everyone get healed from their pitfalls. Why did they reuse this map of all maps for Radiant Dawn? Because everyone loved it. Everyone loved it. Oh, right, the catapults, too! The catapults take so much animation time because you gotta watch them hit everyone. Stab. Stab. Randolph probably would have one-rounded that guy. Oh, my Oscar's so strength screwed. It's so sad. Tanith is immune to bows. I have the full guard on her, so she doesn't take effective damage. Oscar be like that. No Oscar slander. No Oscar slander. Mine is, like, super stat screwed is what's going on. It's just so sad. It's just so sad. The Crimean army? Whoa! It is the army come again! I see the Crimean flag in the rear, but lo! Who do I spy in the distance? Green hair, orange dress, and eyes bewitching fair. Elincia comes! Let us ride to her aid. The princess is returned. Count Bastian, return to the castle and inform King Joffrey at once. I will move ahead and inform the princess that her retainers are here to meet her. Lady Lucia, keep your wits about you. That we are excited is fair to say, but show the enemy no weaknesses, lest he does not cut us down like autumn's wheat. Good advice, and you to watch that you aren't waylaid on the way back to the castle. Even if Dane unleashes on myself with the full force of their army's wrath, they are no match for clever Bastian. I'll meet you at the castle, Nate, anon. Right. How is the dress color something that identifies Lucia? She's the only person in the world with an orange dress. Oh my god, Ike! Oh my god, Oscar! Her orange dress stands out in the middle of the blue units, but they'd never find her if she was in the enemy army. I was so scared it was gonna be another fucking pitfall. Crit! Yes! Atta girl! Bird Lagoon's not having Kanto floored me off so much for the first time I played Path of Radiance. Yeah, they have them in Radiant Dawn. But in Path of Radiance, you need to have the Night Ring on them, or they don't get it. Give Miss the Ragnell. Then she'll actually deal good damage, smiley face. Idle question. Do you know where the term bot came from? When it comes to dedicated one-trick units? Yeah, it's like, well, so bot initially is short for robot, right? But it is used in, like, you know, streamer communities or whatever to refer to a chatbot that sort of performs a specific function in chat. So bot, you know, you've got, like, a Twitch bot performs a function in Twitch. You know, idle bot gives you a message when you type in a certain command or whatever. Counting bot, it does a single function, it's counting. And so extending that to units that fulfill specific qualities, is where, you know, where it becomes, like, where that comes from, basically. If that makes sense. It's just an extension of something that already existed in video game parlance. The generalization of bot existed before Twitch. Yeah, I was just using that as an example. Like, bot is short for robot. That's where that term comes from. I was using things like Twitch bots and idle bots as examples of other things that use bot as a suffix outside of Fire Emblem. Because it's not limited to Fire Emblem. It's not even limited to specifically being inside of video games. Go, Mia. Notice how if she took on 2 enemies, she would have fucking died. Are you ready to fight? Are you ready to die? We must give our all to protect Princess Alencia. My fellow Crimeans, now is the time we stand and fight for the life of our homeland. The audio is crunchy? Oh no, did it? No, it's using the correct microphone. Last stream, OBS used the wrong microphone. Effective damage, by the way. I don't know what would be causing the audio to get crunchy then. We're good now. I meant the in-game audio? Really? It didn't sound crunchy to me, but maybe it was something on the stream. I was curious where it entered the FE lexicon. I've seen it used more other places. Rally bot, staff bot, attack bot, pair up bot. I mean, it's used in the same way in other games as well. You know, look at, like, Pokemon, for example, right? Okay, so let's physic up Mia so that she can actually do something. Who asks the soldiers if they're ready to die? I think that's a fairly common, like, speech, right? Like, hey, are you ready to give your lives to the motherland or whatever? Ah, missed the coin flip. Missed the coin flip twice! She's washed now. She's washed now. I gotta kill all the non-axe units. Benched for Lucia? Never. Never. Lucia, imagine being benched for Lucia, the ultimate insult. I gotta say, Braum has a very ugly color palette. I'm sorry, it's true though. I'm pretty sure there's a pitfall somewhere around here where Khalil is. Like, somewhere on this side, but I might be wrong. You mean to say you don't like not being able to tell if your unit's moved? That is more of a problem for Tyronio than it is for Braum. I knew it! I knew there was a pitfall there. That's more of a Tyronio issue than a Braum issue. Tyronio, you know, his color palette just, it looks gray, so it's hard to tell. I just think Braum looks ugly. I can tell when he hasn't moved. I think it's an ugly shade of black. Like, it just doesn't look good. Oscar cannot get out of pits to save his life. Alright, chat. We need to decide who we're giving the occult scroll to. Using Oscar is a pitfall. I've been saying this the entire playthrough, but the Switch 2 NSO release of Path of Radiance has brought out a whole new wave of Oscar and Marcia slander, and it's kind of ridiculous how much people take, like, two of the strongest units in the game, and they're like, but they start out, you know, they're early game units. They start out at a low level because they're early game units. They're bad, then. When it's like, they're like, Oscar's there in Chapter 1, right? Marcia's there in Chapter 9. This is a game with bonus experience. What are we doing? What are we cooking? Also, does that warrior just straight up kill Mist? Did I do an oopsie? Oh, he preferred to go for Oscar anyway, lol. Oscar's only strong because of his traits, so it hardly counts. Yeah, he's only strong because cavalry is the best in this game, and because he has good stats, and because he has a good weapon type, and because he's available the entire game, minus 2 chapters. If you ignore all of that, he actually sucks ass. Do you like your meat rare, or do you like it charbroiled? Let me know and I'll cook it up just as ordered. Yo, cancel culture real! Oh, that's why he didn't attack Mist! Yeah, because she was dead. I mean, you know, dodge tank, but she was dead. Sword General! Romulus. Rom got a level up. Has Nephany gotten a level up? Oh, we gave Nephany more BXP, didn't we? That's so sad for her. Oh my god. "14 speed on Braum." Yeah, he's officially faster than Tyronio now. So, you know, for what that's worth. 1 Bramillion speed. Moving units is a pitfall. Boom! I knew that was a pitfall, but I just wanted her to fall in it. I think I've actually triggered almost every pitfall on the map. I missed one, but I got an almost perfect bingo, and that's what matters. Is Oscar and Marcia hate big in 2026? I mean, it's always been around. It's always been around. Because people can't... part of it is the idea of, like... There's the contrarian of... this happens in FE4, too. In the games where mounted units are so dominant as to make infantry functionally irrelevant, there's always some amount of people who get upset that it's, like, LTC brain or whatever. And try to insist that, like, every infantry unit is overrated and trash and whatever other stuff you're gonna say, right? And so what ends up happening is that in FE4, people will big up, like, Ira, and Yohalvier is a big one because he is directly competing with the cavalry. So, like, if you say Yohalvier is better than Johan, like, you're talking about a choice between units. Because, for the most part, I don't think you should, but you can deploy everyone in FE4, right? But then you're, like, outside of a ranked run, you're kind of just spreading your EXP too thin. But with Johan and Yohalvier, like, it's a direct competition. You can only use one of them. So he gets gassed up a lot for that reason. And then you get characters like Nephany. Like, God, Nephany's, like, one of the worst units in the game. But she gets bigged up, partially because soldier bias. Partially because people think she's a cute farmer girl or whatever. Partially because of lesbian bias, because the Heather stuff in Radiant Dawn. Falling off. And partially just because she is an infantry unit in a game that is dominated by cavalry. And so people want these units to be better than they are, right? Holy moly. No crit. 38. He does live. Nephany earns so many bonus points for being cute, it's actually insane. I honestly think her being a soldier is a bigger factor. Like, I think people want a playable soldier to be good, and I think that's a bigger factor than her being, like, a cute girl or whatever. The hit rate is so bad! Holy shit! I want to feed this kill to Har because he said he wants to kill Patrine. Like, this is what I'm talking about. His hit rate's garbo. Can we do a little bit more damage? Hit rate, though. We could dance. Devdon clears. Yeah, I mean, people like to meme about Devdon because, you know, Mecha made him his profile picture, but, you know, he is a blackface character, so I don't really like the Devdon memes for that reason. Do it with cooking? You can do something with cooking. We cooking now. We cooking now. Alright, Har, I believe in you. I shouldn't, but you just gotta hit once. Just as I expected. I thought to give you a chance to clear the stain from your name. Yet you and Shinharam are treachery in the flesh. Useless migrants. To think we endured this for 18 long years. Seems General Shinharam and I were not blessed with any masters worthy of serving. All we found are paltry pretenders. You insult his majesty. You know not your place, you louse-ridden oaf. Your failings are yours and yours alone. Time for you to burn. Don't worry, I'll let the dog snack on what's left. Yo! He clears, though! Your Majesty, forgive me, please. I don't want to die. I'm so scared. There's a soldier in these games, I can't remember his name. Aaron? Aaron is another one who gets, like, overgassed to a ridiculous extent because he's a soldier. Aaron is hot garbage, and people are like, but the strength growth! 70%! Princess Alincia, welcome home. It's so good to see you safe. Lucia? Lucia, is it really you? I am no spirit, see? Flesh and bone, through and through. Lucia, you have no idea how I long to see you. And I you, Princess Alincia. When my brother Joffrey told me you'd been lost, my world went dark. When I learned you were still alive, I was so... Then Joffrey's safe as well? Happy day. Are there others? How many Crimean retainers have survived? Well, there's Count Bastion. That silver-tongued rascal is loquacious as ever. Also General Tygo, Marquis Catol's orphan, Silok, and Marquis Mutana are all with us. The soldiers have contained so far. The soldiers we have contacted so far do not even number 100. But if they know you've returned, retainers hiding throughout this land will surely come forward. Yet my existence, it's not known to the general populace. There's no need to worry about that. Tales of your exploits in Dane have reached every corner of Crimea. In every village, in every town, the people are talking. Our fair king had a hidden child, they say. The secret princess of Crimea is fighting to save us all. In addition, Dane soldiers have been frantically searching for a mysterious and elusive Princess Crimea. All they've succeeded in doing is convincing people you truly are their princess. All of Crimea has been anxiously awaiting your return. Oh, Lucia, do you speak truly? They have acknowledged my existence? I never expected this day. Are those random names important in Radiant Dawn? No, they're not. They're just nobodies. News of your actions in Dane reached the ears of King Gallia through Nasir. Then I told Lucia, who passed it to the citizenry. You know, the thought that Nasir is a traitor just doesn't feel right to me. I can't believe it. You think I don't see that? Look at what we know about the medallion. We discovered it thanks to his hints. He's helped us throughout the entire journey, and that at least he was not false. And yet he will not speak. There's nothing I can do to save him. Then let's go. One way or another, I'll loosen his tongue. This way. I like to think that Vernulf is not talking about torture, but he's gonna, kiss Nasir until Nasir gives him the answers. He's being kept in a supply tent. We wanted him away from the other soldiers. Huh? What is it? He's gone. I brought him breakfast this morning. He was here. Ike, did you not have him guarded? I think Ike might be a little bit stupid. It's after midnight. I gotta go to bed, y'all. Rom and Nephany were the guards. No! You paid to take the guards away! That's how he escaped! It would have been mean to do that. We have the prisoners on the honor system! Isn't that, Wait, no, that's the plot of Aliens! They don't have any guns because the prisoners are on the honor system. That's actually the plot of Aliens, I think. Anyway, good night, gamers.